Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Job transfer for all. Sign into Holy Angel at the beginning. Chapter 31. The lineup configuration of the four-person team is also perfect. The two boys are knights and fighters respectively, responsible for the front row's damage resistance and physical output. The two girls are mages and priests, responsible for spell output and state blessing. This lineup is perfect. Whether it is a dungeon or spawning monsters in the wild, it can be perfectly dealt with. And the four facing each other. It was the thickness of a bucket, covered with black lacquered scales all over its body, and a terrifying black snake with a total length of about 20 meters. Qin Feng checked the black snake's attributes using appraisal technique. Giant scaled python, silver boss. Grade, 21. Strength, 149. Constitution, 156. Agility, 123. Spirit, 173. Skill, hard scale armor passive, reduce all damage received by oneself by 20%. Death coil active, use a huge body to entangle the enemy and suffocate to death. Sharp teeth bite active, open your mouth wide, use sharp teeth to bite the enemy violently, with venom paralysis effect. Paralyzing poisonous mist active, spraying poisonous mist from the poison gland, which has a powerful paralyzing effect and can also make the enemy have certain hallucinations. Good guy, see the level of this python. And after its skills. Qin Feng was a little surprised. This giant python is really difficult to deal with. Not only has powerful physical attack skills, but also has control skills such as paralyzing poisonous mist. While paralyzing, it can even produce certain hallucinations. If the spiritual attribute is not high enough, I'm afraid that if they smell a trace of poisonous gas, they will immediately lose the power to resist and become a meal for the giant python. Obviously, the four-person team is also very aware of this. So their position with the giant python is very far away. Just kept testing with long-range skills, a little hesitant whether to fight the giant python or not. Besides, Qin Feng also discovered that not far behind the giant python, there was an unusually thick tree. On the pitch-black tree trunk, another emerald-green little spirit grass unexpectedly grew. The spirit grass had 4 fan-shaped leaves, and a fiery red spirit fruit grew out of the middle of the leaves. The lingonberry is the size of a ping-pong ball, and it constantly exudes a tempting aroma. At this time, even though it was provoked by the 4 people, the giant python did not leave the position more than 100 meters away from the spirit fruit, as if it was guarding it. It seems that this spiritual fruit should be a kind of natural and earthly treasure. Otherwise, with a cruel and ruthless creature like a python, it will definitely not allow other creatures to provoke it and remain indifferent. It seems that this time I'm going to get rich. Based on Xiaoyan's attributes, it's not too difficult to instantly kill this giant python. The only thing to worry about is these 4 people, who are hesitant there, and don't know whether to do it or not. Just when Qin Feng was complaining, the 4-person team seemed to have finally made up their minds. The boy knight standing at the front spoke loudly, with our equipment, as long as we are careful, it shouldn't be too difficult to defeat this boss. After killing this boss, a silver treasure chest can pop out, and you can also get the genius treasure it guards, the snake spirit fruit. A silver treasure chest, AC level treasure, I think it's worth the risk. I think so too. Another handsome soldier boy also nodded, I think what Wang Hao said is reasonable. There are not many silver treasure chests and sea-level treasures, even in our family. The benefits are completely proportional to the risks. I am in favor of taking risks. After finishing speaking, the soldier looked at the mage beauty. Obviously this mage beauty is the core of the entire team. Seeing everyone looked over, the beautiful mage nodded her crystal chin, and said softly, since everyone agrees, let's launch an attack. Zhao Dong, you and Wang Hao stand in front, attracting the hatred of the giant python, and avoid the poisonous fog. I'll be in charge of the output. Union, you should always pay attention to the state of Zhao Dong and Wang Hao. Once they are poisoned, immediately apply a purification effect to them. Hearing Wang Ya's words, all 3 nodded vigorously. Subsequently, Wang Hao directly used the knight's charge skill to attack the giant python. Seeing Wang Hao rushing over with the shield in hand, the giant python showed a touch of human disdain in its eyes, then flicked its huge tail and hit the shield. It's so fast. Wang Hao originally had a little bit of physical strength, and his speed was very slow. When he saw the giant python's attack, he could only grit his teeth and forcefully pushed forward. Boom! The giant python's tail was like a huge hammer, and it hit the shield fiercely, directly blowing Wang Hao away. The shield also came off his hand, was thrown into the air, and then landed on the ground. Zhao Dong, who was following Wang Hao, was a little dumbfounded when he saw Wang Hao being sent flying, and froze in place, stunned for a moment. Neither advancing nor retreating. With this hesitation, a cloud of yellow-green poisonous mist has been ejected from the mouth of the giant python. The poisonous mist spread rapidly, making the surrounding area seem to be enveloped in a yellow-green mist. Clumps of weeds quickly withered and turned yellow in the mist, and fell to the ground. Zhao Dong, run! Wang Ya shouted hastily, but it was too late. Just as Zhao Dong was about to act, the poisonous fog had completely enveloped him. Ah! Zhao Dong actually let out a pitiful roar, and then even raised his saber, and rushed towards Wang Ya and Yun Yun. It seemed to be affected by the poisonous mist, entered the illusion, and completely lost consciousness. So Yun, quickly use purification, Wang Ya reminded with a still calm expression. Oh! Pastor Yun came to his senses, quickly waved his staff, and began to chant spells. Following Yun's movements, a holy light landed on Zhao Dong's body. But nothing works. Zhao Dong broke out and rushed over at an even faster speed. Sister Ya, the spirit attribute of the giant python is too high. My purification technique doesn't work at all. Yun Yun was so anxious that he was about to cry. What should I do? Before Wang Ya had time to answer, Zhao Dong jumped up in the air and slashed down on Wang Ya's head with a knife. Boom! Fortunately, Wang Ya used the mage's air shield skill in time to block Zhao Dong's attack, but soon, Zhao Dong's second strike arrived. What should I do? Wang Ya had never encountered such a situation before, and she was a little confused. Should I attack Zhao Dong, but what if he can't handle my skills at all? It is this hesitation. Zhao Dong's knife had already reached the top of Wang Ya's head. What a stupid woman. Delayed my plan. In the distance, after seeing this scene, Qin Feng cursed angrily, and then disappeared in place in an instant. Wang Ya stared helplessly at Zhao Dong's saber, which became bigger and bigger in her eyes. She reacted suddenly. I'm going to die. He still has the heart to worry about others. She quickly rolled over to the side, and the rest avoided Zhao Dong's attack. But Zhao Dong's attack was really too fast. The moment Wang Ya had the idea of avoiding it, she felt the coldness from the blade on her forehead. A strand of hair fluttered down in front of her eyes. Am I going to die? Wang Ya just had this thought. There was only a muffled bang. Then I saw that Zhao Dong flew out to the side, flew about 10 meters away, and then landed on the ground with a thud, and passed out directly, completely motionless. Subsequently, Wang Ya found that there was a tall and handsome young man in his line of sight. You saved me. She was about to speak. The boy said loudly, You idiot, people are going to kill you, yet you are still worried about whether they will get hurt. I really don't know whether to say you are kind or stupid. Why are you so fierce? People know you're wrong. It was the first time Wang Ya was so accused at such an age, and she was so aggrieved that she almost burst into tears. Qin Feng couldn't see a woman crying the most, so he quickly waved his hand. Be careful next time, this boss, don't you want it? Ah! Wang Ya was stunned for a moment. She hadn't recovered from the emotion just now, and after a while, she waved her hand quickly. No, no, please go ahead. After all, I didn't save you in vain. This boss is regarded as interest. Qin Feng stretched out his hand and rubbed Wang Ya's head. After kneading, he regretted it. It's over. Rubbing Kahiko's head became a habit. How could this easily rub Wang Ya's little head? Forget it. After kneading, it feels good. Then, before Wang Ya could react, Qin Feng rubbed her little head and messed up her hair thoroughly. Then, with a swipe, it disappeared in place and rushed towards the direction of the giant python. Wang Ya looked at the back of Qin Feng rushing towards the giant python. Face up, red up. Then he quickly reacted. His pretty face turned pale, and he shouted at Qin Feng's back, The giant python is dangerous, be careful. After shouting, she quickly pulled Yun's arm. Yun, don't forget to use purification on him. Ah! Yun was dumbfounded. She stretched out her hand and waved in front of Wang Ya's eyes. Sister Ya, have you forgotten that my purification technique doesn't work? Why do you feel that you care so much about his appearance? You just met him once. Don't you fall in love with him? What are you talking about? Wang Ya blushed again. I'm worried that he will also be affected by the poisonous fog. If he is affected by the poisonous fog, no one can stop him with our strength. Really? Yun Yun looked at Wang Ya suspiciously. If you're not guilty, why are you blushing? Quote. Wang Ya was silent for a moment, then pointed in Qin Feng's direction, and shouted, "Look, it's time to fight." With such a shout, Yun Yun was indeed distracted, looked in Qin Feng's direction, and then shouted in surprise. Wow, how is he not affected by the poisonous fog? Hearing Yun Yun's shout, Wang Ya also looked in Qin Feng's direction with a look of surprise. I saw. Like the wind, Qin Feng directly shuttled through the poison area arranged by the giant python. Not affected at all. To him the poisonous mist. It seems that there is no difference from ordinary air. In fact, this is all due to Xiao Yan's purification effect, that's all. As long as it is a negative effect. In the purified state, it will lose its effect. This is also Qin Feng's confidence in daring to shuttle through the poisonous fog wantonly. Hiss. The giant python noticed that Qin Feng had passed through the poisonous fog and charged over, opened its mouth immediately, spit out a bright red core, and rushed towards him. Good job. With one wrong step, Qin Feng easily avoided the python's bite, and then kicked the ground trembled, and he had already turned into an afterimage and jumped into the air. Because the speed was too fast, the air screamed harshly wherever it passed. Boom! The wolf's saber slashed on the giant python's head abruptly, but it didn't cut through directly, but shot out a bright spark. What a tough scale armor! Qin Feng admired, not discouraged, and secretly drank. Xiaoyan, armed with angels. The moment the words fell, a gorgeous pattern appeared on the Kanglang sword. Then Qin Feng stepped on the giant python's huge head, jumped up high again, and chopped it down with a volley. Holy light slash! The blade shone with divine brilliance, and it slashed directly at the giant python's head. Seeing Qin Feng attacking, the giant python also stretched out its white fangs, and savagely bit Qin Feng, who was in midair. Click, kai, the sound of fangs snapping. Then the sound of meat cutting sounded. The extremely hard scales were split open by Qin Feng. The wolf's saber cut directly through the python's upper jaw, and then pierced through the lower jaw. Even the bright red core of the giant python was chopped into 2 pieces. Hiss! The giant python didn't die directly, but rushed towards Qin Feng again and bit it. Immediately, a stench mixed with the smell of blood poured into Qin Feng's mouth and nose. Qin Feng suppressed his nausea, and with a slight twist of his body, he avoided the giant python's bite, and then he dodged and came to the 7 inches of the giant python. Phew! Qin Feng slashed with all his strength, and even cut the giant python's bucket-thick body into 2 pieces. The blood was like a small river, staining the ground red. The giant python was in severe pain, and just about to turn around and bite, but before it could make a move, its eyes went dark and its pupils dilated. Boom! A muffled sound. The huge body fell directly to the ground, twitched a few times, and died completely. Brush! 2 gorgeous rays of light landed on Qin Feng and Xiaoyan at the same time. Ding! Your level has been raised to level 15. Ding! Xiaoyan's level has been raised to level 10, can be advanced to the 2nd level Archangel. 2 pleasant notification tones sounded at the same time. Wow, you are really amazing. Union ran over, his big eyes gleaming, and he said with admiration, the monster that none of the 4 of us can deal with can be dealt with by you in just a few strokes. The same is true for Wang Ya. Her pretty face was a little red. She stretched out her hand, and said, Hi, my name is Wang Ya, thank you for saving me. What's your name? My name is Qin Feng. Qin Feng wiped the blood on his palm and held it with Wang Ya. It's cool and soft, very comfortable to hold. Fortunately, Qin Feng just shook it, and then let go, otherwise Wang Ya's face would be red to the neck. Don't you care about your teammates? Qin Feng looked at the 2 of them, and then glanced at Wang Hao, who was slumped on the ground, and Zhao Dong, who had passed out. Oh! Yun Yun finally came to his senses, stuck out his tongue, and quickly used the healing skill on the 2 of them. A green holy light landed on the 2 of them. Subsequently, the injuries on Wang Hao's body healed at a speed visible to the naked eye, and his legs and waist were no longer sore. The whole person was full of energy. Even Zhao Dong, who had been kicked heavily by Qin Feng, came to his senses, swayed his body, and walked towards the crowd. Thank you. Zhao Dong looked at Qin Feng. If it weren't for you, I'm afraid I would have done something that I would never forgive myself in my life. After thanking him, he looked at Wang Ya again. Xiaoya, I'm really sorry, I really couldn't control myself at that time. It's okay. Wang Ya waved her hand generously. I can't blame you for this. If you want to blame it, you can blame this stinky snake's abominable skills. Wang Ya was so angry that she clenched her fist and kicked the giant python hard. Slap. Following Wang Ya's movements, a gleaming silver treasure box also slid out of the giant python's body and fell to the ground. No, Qin Feng, your treasure chest. Wang Ya bent down to pick up the treasure chest and handed it to Qin Feng. Open it and have a look. After Qin Feng put away the treasure chest, he didn't rush to open it, and said in a low voice, Don't worry, wait until the immediate crisis is dealt with. Crisis. All three of them were stunned for a moment. Hasn't the giant python been killed by you? What crisis is there? The scourge of monsters is solved. Qin Feng smiled, but the scourge of the same kind has just begun. After finishing speaking, he turned to the direction behind him and said with a loud smile, Come out. When are you going to watch the show? If it doesn't come out, I will eat this snake spirit fruit. After finishing speaking, Qin Feng made a gesture of swallowing the snake spirit fruit he just took off. Ha ha ha, my little brother has good eyesight. At this moment, in the direction Qin Feng was facing, more than a dozen burly men suddenly appeared. Every big man's body and the sword in his hand were more or less stained with thick blood. Make them look fierce and cruel. The big man in the lead was even blood-stained all over, and his face was covered with a layer of dark red blood scabs, which looked extremely oozing. Since I was discovered by the little brother, I won't talk nonsense, as long as you leave the silver treasure chest, snake spirit fruit, and the equipment on you. We'll let you live, how about that? Zhaofeng pirates. When seeing this group of big men, Zhao Dong's face instantly became extremely pale, and he said tremblingly, We are finished, it is Xingfeng pirates. The Bloody Wind Bandit. Qin Feng was stunned for a moment. What is that? Zhao Dong took a few deep breaths before regaining his composure, and said quickly, The Bloody Wind Bandits are the largest material hunter gang, or robber gang, in Fengshan province. The total number of them exceeds 3,000, and the leader, Iron Beard, has reached level 3 turn 50. Don't the officials just ignore it? Union asked. Fengshan province can be regarded as a strong military in the whole Great Sha. Even a small city like Tianfu City, where Qin Feng is located, has 2 official forces stationed there, the City Guard and the Inspection Division. Coupled with the countless powerful nobles in the city, it stands to reason that there is no reason for the existence of such a big gang of Xingfeng bandits, and they should have been wiped out long ago. Sigh. Zhao Dong sighed, it's because this group of bloody wind thieves are too cunning. They usually disguise themselves as material hunters, making it difficult for the official forces to attack them. In addition, this group of people are extremely vicious and merciless when they attack. People who are robbed by them have no chance of surviving. So, no one knows what the Xingfeng bandit looks like. Doesn't that mean that we are bound to die? Yun Yun's face became extremely pale. The Flash Wind Pirates won't do anything unless they are absolutely sure. Zhao Dong smiled wryly, it seems that they are sure about us. Hearing Zhao Dong's words, the big man headed opposite sneered twice and said, Boy, since you know the rules of our Xingfeng bandit, then I won't pretend anymore. Take off your equipment and kill yourself. For the sake of our brothers, we didn't do anything lightly or seriously. It wouldn't look good to damage your corpses. Do you think you've got us determined? At this moment, Qin Feng suddenly took a step forward, protecting everyone behind him. Boy, don't take yourself seriously just because you can instantly kill the giant python. The big man snorted coldly. Insta-kill the giant python. I can do it too. After the words fell, the man's body suddenly erupted with a fierce and unparalleled aura, which made everyone's clothes rattle. Name: Li Tianyi. Level: 23. Occupation: Warrior. Skill. At the same time, everyone also saw the attributes of a big man. Level 23, is this your confidence? Qin Feng sneered. Hey, Li Tianyi smiled, it's not over yet. The voice fell. A set of black armor suddenly covered Li Tianyi's body, tightly covering his whole body, leaving only a pair of eyes exposed. The armor is hard and thick, making him look like a hill, full of oppression. Mountain armor suit. The moment Wang Hao saw Li Tianyi's armor, a sharp light shot out from Wang Hao's eyes. The effect of the 8 suits is to increase strength by 50 points and constitution by 100 points, and reduce agility by 60 points. This bronze suit can almost be regarded as the most perfect heavy armor suit for knights and warriors below level 20. I didn't expect him to gather this set of equipment. This is troublesome. Hearing Wang Hao's words, Li Tianyi sneered and said, "You're a smart boy. Below level 20, no matter what profession you have, it's impossible to penetrate my defense. You should surrender obediently." "Oh, is it so?" Qin Feng sneered, and then a light flashed in his hand. A long spear shining with golden light suddenly appeared in Qin Feng's hand. It was the reward for signing in for the second time, the Holy Silver Gun. The Holy Silver Gun child's wrist was thick and thin, 2 meters long. Standing beside Qin Feng, he was even half a head taller than him. The tip of the spear was extremely sharp, and under the sunlight, it shone with a dazzling cold light, which made people feel cold when they saw it. Qin Feng looked at the attributes of the silver gun. Holy Silver Spear. Grade: Gold. Strength: +6.2. Constitution: +3.1. Agility: +4.7. Spirit: +2.5. Skill: Cold Light comes first. Passive, additional 20% armor piercing attribute. Spear like a dragon. Passive, add 20 points of agility to the user. The first arrival of Hanmeng increases the armor breaking attribute by 20%. In addition, after being armed with Shaoyan Angel, the armor breaking property will be increased by 10%. I don't believe I can't break your dog cage. Qin Feng, who was holding a silver gun, suddenly felt a kind of pride in his heart. I feel like Zhao Zilong from the Three Kingdoms period, wishing I could pick up the spear immediately, step into the battlefield, and fight 7 in and 7 out. This kind of self-confidence, this kind of power, was something he had never felt when he was holding a sword. And Li Tianyi was taken aback by the spear that appeared in Murangian, and then looked at Qin Feng, secretly admiring in his heart, what a heroic young man. Subsequently, in the heart of the big man, a thought that even he himself did not expect at all, said loudly, "Young man, I have to say, even I admire you a little now. As long as you are willing to join us, how about I spare your life? And I can also guarantee that with your talent, you will definitely get strong support from the regiment. In 2 years, you might be able to step into the 3rd rank and become another leader of the regiment. Under 1 person, above 10,000 people. How about it?" Hee. Qin Feng sneered, "Just because you are a garbage robber group, you are worthy of recruiting me. You think too much of yourself. Good boy, how dare you be so ungrateful." The big man's face suddenly darkened. "Since that's the case, don't blame me for being cruel. Kill me, kill the man, and keep the woman." After saying that, the big man kicked the ground suddenly, jumped into the air, and slashed at Qin Feng head on. Looking for death, Qin Feng narrowed his eyes slightly, suddenly raised his spear, and stabbed directly at the big man's eyes. The angle of this gun is ghostly, and the speed is extremely fast. Almost in the blink of an eye, it passed through the big man's long knife and appeared in front of his eyes. How could it be so fast? I was obviously the one who shot first. A layer of cold sweat broke out on the big man's face. He turned his head slightly and used his nose, which was covered by armor, to block the spear. At the same time, he continued to slash the saber in his hand towards Qin Feng. This is his confidence in wearing the mountain armor suit. He has already seen Qin Feng's level 15, absolutely can't break through the defense of the mountain armor suit. Looking for death, Qin Feng sneered when he saw the big man's movements. Boom, caw, cha, a tooth-piercing voice came out. The spear was like a dragon, and it directly hit the top of the head armor, directly deforming the spine of the head armor, denting it downward, and then smashed heavily on the bridge of Li Tianyi's nose. Ah! The force of the impact shattered the bridge of the big man's nose. The big man let out a painful wail, and his body flew backwards. The mantis catches the cicada and the oriole is behind, but what you don't know is that after the oriole, there is a hunter. And I, Qin Feng, am that hunter. Qin Feng's body flashed suddenly, appearing in front of the big man, and before his body landed, he stabbed out with a spear. It stabbed again in the sunken part of the head armor. Click. The head armor burst open in an instant, and was smashed to pieces by the spear, revealing Li Tianyi's bloody face. Subsequently, the spear continued unabated, leaving a big bloody hole directly on his face. Through the big hole, you can even see the scenery behind Li Tianyi. Ah, ho ho. The big man covered the bloody hole with his hands, but he couldn't stop the bleeding. The blood flowed out from between his fingers, staining his hands bloody. Then, with a snap, the big man's body fell heavily to the ground, and after twitching twice, he died completely. Level 23, Li Tianyi wearing a heavy armor suit. Don't Qin Feng take 2 shots, kill him immediately, and die on the spot. Everyone present was dumbfounded. Union covered his mouth, looked at Qin Feng blankly, and murmured, Qin Feng is too handsome, too strong. He actually killed Li Tianyi instantly. How is this possible? That's the mountain armor suit. Wang Hao was even more numb. He knew the attributes of the mountain armor suit best. Even if Li Tianyi is a fighter, with more strength, after wearing the mountain armor suit, his physical value will definitely exceed 200 points. And this Dot was actually killed by Qin Feng in an instant. Wang Hao wondered if he was dreaming. Little stars appeared in Wang Ya's eyes, and she fixed her eyes on Qin Feng. She didn't know what she thought of, and her face suddenly turned red again. As for the other bloody wind pirates, they were frightened dumbfounded by Qin Feng. I even lost the courage to strike. After getting acquainted with each other. Wow, fleeing away in all directions. Xiaoyan, kill them all. Qin Feng touched the gorgeous enchanting patterns on the body of the gun, and said calmly. He saw Xiaoyan who suddenly appeared in front of Qin Feng. Wang Ya and the others were dumbfounded. Where did this Qin Feng conjure a beautiful woman? And this beautiful woman can fly. What's going on? Yeah, I heard Qin Feng say, let this beautiful woman kill the enemy. Seeing her soft and weak appearance, is it okay? The 2 boys stared blankly and made their own comments. But Wang Ya and Yun Yun's concerns are not in the same dimension at all. Sister Wang Ya, why do I feel that Xiaoyan is prettier than you? Yun Yun pointed to Xiaoyan and said, look, her eyelashes are so beautiful and her hair is so soft, I'm so envious. Wang Ya also had to admit it. This Xiaoyan in front of me. It is indeed more perfect and more beautiful than what she gave birth to. She looked almost critically. I couldn't pick out any shortcomings from Xiaoyan. If you have to say it, that is Xiaoyan is still like a child. Pure and simple, not enough femininity. But this shortcoming is almost negligible in front of the almost perfect face. At this point, it can be seen from the eyes of the 2 men beside him. Hello. Qin Feng walked up to everyone and waved his hands. What's the matter with you? Are you all dumbfounded? Yeah, Yun Yun nodded vigorously. Brother Qin Feng, who is this beautiful woman, and where did you transform it? Also, why does she have wings? Yun Yun's face was full of expectation, and his big eyes were fixed on Qin Feng. Xiaoyan is actually not a human being. Qin Feng smiled. It's a brand new race in this world called angels, that's why she has wings and the ability to fly. Wow, angel. The stars in Yun Yun's eyes were about to jump out. What a beautiful name, and only such a beautiful name can be worthy of Xiaoyan. A brand new race. Wang Ya looked at Qin Feng, then where did you get Xiaoyan? Hearing Wang Ya's question, the other 3 also cast curious eyes. Yes, a brand new race, where did Qin Feng get it? Ahem. Qin Feng rubbed his nose and said with a smile, actually, this has something to do with my profession. My profession is an angel summoner, who can connect to the passages of other worlds. Xiaoyan was summoned by me from a different dimension. Oh, that. Wang Ya nodded, and then reacted suddenly, what are you talking about? You are an angel summoner. Aren't you a warrior? Yeah, your strength is too perverted, and you're holding a spear, I thought you were a hidden fighter. Zhao Dong also said. In fact, the reason why I am so strong is all thanks to Xiaoyan. Qin Feng smiled. The reason why my attribute value is high is actually inherited from Xiaoyan. Quiet. The audience was silent. Everyone opened their mouths wide and looked in the direction where Xiaoyan disappeared in disbelief. You have inherited some of Xiaoyan's attributes, and you are already so strong. How strong is Xiaoyan? Wang Hao said stupidly. The average 4-dimensional attribute is only more than 200 points. Qin Feng said with some uncertainty. After all, Xiaoyan has not yet advanced to become an archangel. Qin Feng's attribute of Xiaoyan can only be an estimate. So I talked about a relatively vague attribute. But this value still frightened the four of them. An average of over 200 points. Union was very excited, as if these attribute values belonged to her, and almost jumped up excitedly. I remember that Xiaoyan is only at level 10. Oh my god, Xiaoyan is too powerful. Yeah, Qin Feng nodded. Thank goodness he didn't say that Xiaoyan could still advance, otherwise Yunyun would have exploded with excitement. Is this the charm of Xiaoyan? We just met, just got such a stupid fan. This charm is too great, even if it is a traffic star in the previous life, it can't be compared at all. Just when everyone was discussing excitedly, Xiaoyan flew back from afar. Then it quickly turned into a small person and landed in Qin Feng's palm. Brother, I'm about to evolve, and I may need to sleep for a while. After speaking, Xiaoyan petrified little by little, and turned into the original form, similar to a figure. Evolve. Qin Feng nodded, and checked Xiaoyan's status with appraisal technique. Holy Angel Xiaoyan. Grade. Tier 1. Evolving. Remaining time 24 hours. Level. 10. Strength. 234. Constitution. 256. Speed. 247. Spirit. 419. Remarks. During evolution, the attribute values inherited by the host will not disappear. Does evolution take 24 hours? Also good. It happened to be out long enough. It's time to go home to rest and prepare for the big exam. Then, Qin Feng and a few people expressed their desire to return to the city. Several people said, my purpose of coming out to practice this time has been achieved. Also prepare to return to the city and prepare for the exam. But before leaving, Wang Hao walked to Qin Feng's side, pointed to Li Tiany's body and said, that Qin Feng, mountain armor set, look. If you don't use it, can you sell it to me first? Fearing that Qin Feng would not agree, Wang Hao quickly said, don't worry, I will definitely give you a satisfactory price. Qin Feng looked at the attributes of the mountain armor suit. It was found that this set of equipment was heavy armor. He can't equip it at all. That being the case, Wang Hao has the intention to acquire. Qin Feng is also willing to admit the beauty. Immediately asked, how much do you plan to pay? Wang Hao pondered for a while. The helmet part is damaged. Logically speaking, the value of this set of equipment is not small. But considering that brother Qin Feng sold it to you, how about I give you 5 million universal coins? 5 million. Qin Feng was surprised by Wang Hao's generosity. You know, although this mountain armor suit is rare, the market price is about 5 million. Now that one piece is missing, it was still difficult for Wang Hao to offer such a price. It should also be the idea of making friends with Qin Feng. Qin Feng was also happy to fulfill him, so he said, if that's the case, then we'll make a deal. Okay. Wang Hao went to touch the corpse happily. Qin Feng, I'll give you the money back to the city. I don't have so much on me for the time being. Not in a hurry. Qin Feng smiled and nodded. With this huge sum of money, not only can the environment of the orphanage be improved, even you can also buy a lot of potions that strengthen your body. Thinking of the properties of potions, Qin Feng's heart also became slightly excited. It's much faster to come back than to go. The few people were like bulldozers, rampaging on the windy plain, and no monsters dared to provoke them. Even human adventurers, they are also afraid of the aura emanating from several people. Don't dare to approach at all. Then, the group didn't encounter any trouble at all. It only took 3 days. Then he returned to Tianfu City. Wang Ya and the others took out their phones one after another and directly notified their family members to send a car to pick them up. At the same time, they ordered another car to take Qin Feng back. The cars of several families arrived soon, all of which were luxury cars worth millions, which was enough to see the strong capital of each family. Several people bid farewell and exchanged contact information before leaving by car. Qin Feng was sitting in the luxury car, and not long after, a reminder sound came from the phone. Ding, your bank card has received a total of 250,000 yuan in Daxia General Coin, and the balance is 250,000 yuan. This should be Shangguan Yu's money to buy the card, and now he is prosperous. Before Qin Feng could be happy, The next text message followed. Ding, your bank card has received 5 million yuan in Daxia General Coin, with a balance of 5.25 million yuan. Watch for hints. A smile slowly appeared on Qin Feng's face. Wang Hao is quite reliable. After a word of emotion, Qin Feng exited the SMS interface. After seeing 99 plus missed calls, Qin Feng's face suddenly darkened. I forgot about Principal Li and Teacher Zhou. It's been more than 10 days since he was recruited. Doesn't this mean that I have released 2 people's pigeons for more than 10 days? But fortunately, senior sister Sheng Guanyu agreed to recruit me to enter Shengjing University, so this should be regarded as accepting special recruitment, right? But it's better to go to school and explain. Thinking of this, Qin Feng called out to the master who was driving, Master, don't go to the Sunshine Orphanage, and send me to Nanjiang District No. 3 High School. Okay, no problem, the driver said softly without any impatience. Soon, the luxury business car took Qin Feng to the gate of No. 3 High School. Because the 3rd high school is not too far from the orphanage, Qin Feng didn't keep the driver waiting, and let him leave first, while he walked towards the principal's office. The door to the principal's office was open. Qin Feng walked to the door and found that the class teacher Zhou Shan was also there. He knocked on the door and walked in directly. When Li Hai and Zhou Shan saw Qin Feng, their eyes lit up slightly. He hurriedly got up and greeted. Qin Feng, you may be back, come in, come in. Even Li Hai stood up from his chair excitedly, and took 2 steps forward to meet Qin Feng. Seeing the enthusiasm of the 2 teachers, Qin Feng felt embarrassed, and quickly said, I'm sorry, Principal Li, Teacher Zhou, it's my fault, I missed the appointment. Hi, Li Hai waved his hand, look at you kid, your dean's grandfather has already explained to us, and we all know that the reason why you missed the appointment is to look for Dean Wang. There's no need to say anything about apologizing. Even if it happens again, we will continue to support you in doing so. This is a good student of our No. 3 middle school, and it has not failed the teacher and the school's training. Thank you Principal for your compliment. Qin Feng touched his nose, feeling a little embarrassed. Fortunately, Li Hai is a seasoned person with a more delicate mind. Seeing Qin Feng's appearance, he changed the subject on his own initiative. Qin Feng, Li Hai pulled Qin Feng to sit on the sofa. Since you have come back from the field, and I heard that your career problem has been completely resolved, do you want me to make an appointment for those special appointments for you? Recruiting school. Qin Feng was stunned for a moment. Then react. Sheng Guanyu is a busy person. He definitely wouldn't come back and talk to Li Hai about this trivial matter. Therefore, Li Hai probably didn't know that he had obtained the special recruitment qualification. So Qin Feng smiled and said, Principal Li, I met senior sister Shengguan when I was in the field, and now I can be regarded as a special student of Shengjing University. Surprise. Li Hai and Zhou Shan felt a huge surprise and hit their heads. Special enrollment of Shengjing University. Since the establishment of their 3rd middle school, they have never had such an honor. To know, Shengjing University only has 100 special enrollments every year. The special enrollment is for high schools across the country. It is conceivable that, how fierce is the competition for this spot? Even in a strong province like Fengshan, this number will not exceed 10. And these 10 people will definitely be recruited by various key universities in the province. There is no ordinary high school thing at all. So, in fact, Li Hai didn't have too many expectations in his heart. But Qin Feng was admitted directly, and Li Hai felt as if he won the first prize directly by buying a lottery ticket. The whole person was dazed by this huge surprise, feeling very dreamy. But, at this moment, Qin Feng's words suddenly changed. I thought about it and then I rejected it. What? Li Hai buttoned his ears, suspecting that he had heard wrongly. Rejected? Yeah, Qin Feng nodded. I still decided to continue taking the college entrance examination. After all, the reward for the provincial champion is too generous. And once I win the provincial champion, these schools will definitely increase their leverage in recruiting me, and I will be able to get more resources. That's the truth. Li Hai nodded, but are you so sure that you can win the provincial champion? Let's not talk about the province, even if it is this year's city champion, the competition is very fierce. Li Dong, Wang Ya from city No. 1 middle school, and Zhou Wen from No. 2 middle school have also changed their jobs to hide their jobs. And they have been cultivated by their families since childhood, and their basic attributes are very high. They will all be strong contenders for the city's champion. Wang Ya. Qin Feng thought about the girl hiding behind him, looking like a little woman, and smiled. Don't worry, principal, even if they are all hidden professions, they will not be my opponents. Quote. I, Qin Feng, will be the number 1 in the college entrance examination in Fengshan province this year. Hiss. Hear Qin Feng's bold words. Both Li Hai and Zhou Shan gasped. Good guy. This is too confident. Why does it feel like winning the first prize in the college entrance examination is as simple as flipping hands? You said take it, so take it. You really think the Ministry of Education is run by your family, right? But Li Hai and Zhou Shan did not dampen Qin Feng's self-confidence. Li Hai said, Qin Feng, you work hard. If you can get the champion of Fengshan province, the whole school will be proud of you. You are the pride of the entire number 3 middle school. Don't worry, principal. Qin Feng nodded. You can rest assured and wait for my performance in the college entrance examination. I will definitely not disappoint you. After chatting with the 2 teachers for a while, seeing that the sky has darkened, Qin Feng took the initiative to leave and return to the orphanage. Thank you, Brother Qin Feng. Brother Qin Feng is really kind. Long live Brother Qin Feng. Brother Qin Feng YYDS. As soon as Qin Feng entered the door, he was surrounded by a group of half-grown children. He found these children are all wearing new clothes. The originally skinny body seemed to be much stronger, and a healthy rosy color appeared on his face. He knew this should be because the school rewarded him with the 150,000 yuan, which worked. Aren't you happy? Qin Feng bent down, squeezed a child's little face, and said with a smile. Happy. A burst of laughter came. Just be happy. Qin Feng also smiled. Then brother, can you make you happier? Talking, Qin Feng took out 2 large black plastic bags from his backpack and placed them in front of the children. In the plastic bag were some snacks like hamburgers, fried chicken and fries that he bought when he passed by a burger shop. He always knew that the children were thinking about this, but they were sensible and didn't talk about it. Now, Qin Feng can be regarded as a small asset. Of course, the wishes of these children must be satisfied. Wow, it's a burger. Thank you, Brother Qin. Fried chicken, I want fried chicken. Delicious. The fried chicken is so delicious. Seeing the children's mouths full of oil, Qin Feng also felt extremely happy, and also felt a special sense of pride in his heart. He also became more determined about the path he was going to take next. You must practice hard to help Dasha put down the monster's cholera. Let Daxia never have any orphanage again. Let Daxia never have an orphan again. Let everyone in Daxia live a safe and happy life. Subsequently, after Qin Feng played with the children for a while, then came to Wang Chenghai's bedroom. Zhaofeng. Wang Chenghai looked at Qin Feng, and couldn't stop smiling. Come here, let me see, you are already level 15, and you have already caught up with me. It's not bad. It's all taught well by the dean's grandfather. Qin Feng also smiled. You kid, you can only pick good things to say. Wang Chenghai said, I don't know how many little girls will suffer in the future. Qin Feng didn't dare to speak. The scene where Wang Chenghai asked Xiaoyan if he could have a baby is still vivid in my memory. Qin Feng was afraid of chatting and not knowing where the topic might turn, so he said quickly. Grandpa Dean, this time I gained a lot of money in the wild, and put it in the bank card. You can use it anyway, renovate our orphanage, and then build a canteen for the children, and hire a professional nutritionist to prepare breakfast for the children. The last is the children who have reached the age. Let them all go to school. It is not an option to continue playing like this in the orphanage. Education is still very important. Zhaofeng, do you know how much it costs? Wang Chenghai did the math. I'm afraid there are not millions of dollars, and it won't come down at all. Don't worry about money. There are still more than 5 million in this card, you can just use it. Qin Feng said calmly. How much? Wang Chenghai's eyes widened. 5 million. Yes. Qin Feng nodded, and showed Wang Chenghai the text message on his mobile phone. Now you can rest assured. You can use it at ease. If it is not enough, I will get it. With my current strength, it's relatively easy to get millions. Quote. Wang Chenghai nodded almost sluggishly, and then said stupidly after a while, okay. Zhao Feng is promising. Chatted with Wang Chenghai for a while. Qin Feng left, returned to the dormitory, put down his backpack, and prepared to take a shower and change clothes. But he thought of a more serious problem. That is, should I take Xiao Yan with me in the shower? Xiao Yan is currently in the advanced stage, similar to a figurine, placed in the dormitory. What if some brat takes it to play with? Although Xiao Yan is Qin Feng's summoned creature. But in Qin Feng's heart, Xiao Yan is no different from his sister or relatives. I absolutely don't want Xiao Yan to be played by a group of children. What if he breaks it? Qin Feng felt helpless, but on second thought, Xiao Yan is in an evolutionary state and should be in a deep sleep, so there shouldn't be any problem taking a bath together. So, Qin Feng generously took Xiao Yan to take a bath. Later, when he was sleeping, he put Xiao Yan beside his pillow, and Qin Feng felt relieved. A huge sense of exhaustion came, and Qin Feng fell into a dreamland. At the same time, in a high-end villa in Tianfu City, Wang Ya was wearing a cute little raccoon pajamas, sitting on a sofa. Opposite her, there were two people sitting. One was about the same age as Wang Ya, and had a very similar face. She was Wang Ya's older sister, Wang Rui. The other person is a handsome middle-aged man who is the father of Sister Hua, Wang Jingming. Wang Rui was huddled on the sofa playing with her mobile phone, but after hearing Wang Ya's words, her eyes shifted from the mobile phone to Wang Ya bit by bit, and her expression gradually became shocked. The mouths are all big, as if they heard something incredible. You mean, you met the Bloody Wind Bandit? Then you were rescued by a boy of the same age? Wang Ya nodded, and said, to be precise, the little leader of the Fisty Wind Bandit was instantly killed by Qin Feng while wearing the mountain armor suit. Slap! The mobile phone in Wang Rui's hand fell to the ground, and she exclaimed, that little leader is still wearing a mountain jacket. Isn't that right? Are you sure this boy is the same age as you? Sure, sure. Wang Ya nodded very confirmingly. He is also a candidate who is about to take the big exam. Quote. There was a moment of silence in the room. After a long time, Wang Jingming's head emerged from behind the newspaper, looking at Wang Ya. What is that Qin Feng's occupation? Berserker, or soul of the sword. Only such a particularly powerful hidden profession can do it, right? Wang Ya shook her head slowly, showing a wry smile. Qin Feng's profession is actually a summoner, angel summoner. Click. The sound of newspapers being torn. The newspaper in Wang Jingming's hands was torn into two sections. Wang's commercial firm is the largest chamber of commerce in the entire Tianfu city, and Wang Jingming, as the head of the association, has very few things that can arouse his mood. And now, I just heard a little news about Qin Feng. Wang Jingming's heart lake was like a huge wave breaking up. It was difficult to calm down. Just because, this news is too explosive. Qin Feng has successfully attracted his attention, and Wang Jingming threw the newspaper into the trash can as if nothing had happened. Xiaoya, you mean that Qin Feng is a summoner, and then he didn't use summoned creatures but used weapons to kill them with his own hands? Li Tianyi. Yeah, Qin Ya nodded vigorously again. I saw this with my own eyes, and the angels summoned by Qin Feng are also very powerful in combat. After beheading Li Tianyi, the Xingfeng bandit fled around, but Xiao Yan, that angel, killed them all in less than 2 minutes. I heard from Qin Feng that Xiaoyan's average attribute should be 200 points, which is not too high, but Xiaoyan's level is only 10, which is really terrifying. This attribute, even compared with the legendary beasts, is not far behind. Hiss. Wang Jingming and Wang Rui gasped again. They were a little silly. Every piece of information Wang Ya said was like a fairy tale, deeply stimulating their nerves. It's been a long time. Wang Jingming took a deep breath and said, Xiaoya, you didn't offend this Qin Feng, did you? Dad, Wang Ya called coquettishly, he saved my life, how could I offend him? That's fine. Wang Jingming breathed a sigh of relief. You have been spoiled since childhood, who knows if you will do something stupid. Before Wang Ya could refute, Wang Jingming continued to speak. Since he saved your life, our Wang family can't be stingy. From your contact with Qin Feng, do you see what he lacks? Equipment, money, or something. I'd like to prepare a gift too, thank you very much. Hear Wang Jingming's words. Wang Ya's brows were tightly knit together. Equipment. Qin Feng's weapon is a piece of gold equipment, so it shouldn't be missing. Money. Wang Hao bought the mountain armor suit from Qin Feng, which cost a total of 5 million, and he should not be short of money in a short time. So what exactly is Qin Feng lacking? Wang Ya thought for a long time. Suddenly her eyes lit up, and said, Dad, I thought about it. Although I didn't ask about Qin Feng's background, I learned from the driver that Qin Feng's destination is the Sunshine Orphanage. I guess, did Qin Feng grow up in an orphanage? How about we invest in the orphanage? Renovate the orphanage, maybe we can win Qin Feng's favor. Yeah, not bad. Wang Jingming nodded. Invest in an orphanage. It can not only gain Qin Feng's favor, but also add a layer of reputation to our Wang's firm. But I think this alone is not enough to express the sincerity of my Wang's firm. How about this? The Chamber of Commerce bought a dungeon teleportation scroll of Silent Graveyard a few days ago. Let Qin Feng take you to brush at once. Quote. Doing this will not only improve Qin Feng's level before the final exam, but also give him another wave of equipment. Silent Graveyard. Wang Ya nodded. That's it. There are still 3 days left for the big exam. I'll go to Qin Feng tomorrow and pass the dungeon. I'm going to. Wang Rui also said at this time, I also want to see who this Qin Feng is. Okay. Wang Jingming smiled and agreed. Then, the light of the space ring on his hand flashed. A simple scroll appeared in his hand, and he handed it to Wang Ya. After forming a team, tear up the scroll, and then you can enter the instance. Remember, act fast. It is estimated that the other 3 families will not be indifferent in the face of a genius like Qin Feng. You can go straight away tomorrow morning. Aha! Wang Ya and Wang Rui nodded vigorously and agreed. Jingling bell, early the next morning. When the sky is not fully lit yet, the piercing cell phone rang. I forgot to turn off the alarm clock I set for school. Qin Feng didn't open his eyes, and reached out to touch the mobile phone beside the pillow. However, his palm did not touch the phone. Instead, there was a warm and soft touch. Qin Feng instinctively stretched out his hand to grab it, but there was a soft goo sound in his ear. What the hell? Everyone in Qin Feng was dumbfounded. He bounced off the bed, rolled down to the ground in an instant, and looked at the side of the bed. I saw. A girl with exquisite facial features and curved eyebrows was lying on the bed. The sun shone on the girl's face, and the girl's eyelashes felt crystal clear, and the whole picture was as beautiful as a fairyland. Xiaoyan, have you evolved? Qin Feng looked at the girl on the bed, a little surprised. Didn't Xiaoyan say that evolution takes 24 hours? It shouldn't be here yet, why? Hear Qin Feng's call. Xiaoyan rubbed his eyes and sat up from the bed, revealing 4 pure white wings. Brother Qin, I don't know why I was affected, but suddenly my evolution was completed. As he said that, Xiaoyan stretched his waist, revealing a perfect arc. 2 streaks of blood suddenly sprang out of Qin Feng's nose uncontrollably. Brother Qin, what's wrong with you? Xiaoyan wanted to get out of bed to check Qin Feng's status, but Qin Feng directly stopped him with his hand. Xiaoyan, don't come down, cover yourself with the quilt, and then get dressed. After finishing speaking, Qin Feng quickly ran into the toilet. Why does evolution cause clothes to disappear? Qin Feng complained while cleaning his nostrils. What does evolution have to do with clothes? Qin Feng didn't understand. After washing his nostrils and washing his face with cold water, Qin Feng felt his mood calm down. It just so happened that Xiaoyan also got dressed at this time and walked to Qin Feng's side. Qin Feng didn't continue to dwell on this issue. After walking around Xiaoyan twice, be amazed. In addition to the addition of a pair of wings, Xiaoyan seems to have a better figure. It's a bit protruding. Qin Feng nodded in satisfaction. There is quite a feeling of a girl next door growing up. After observing Xiaoyan's appearance, Qin Feng checked Xiaoyan's attributes again with appraisal technique. Holy Angel Xiaoyan. Grade. 2nd grade, Archangel. Level. 10. Strength. 284. Constitution. 306. Speed. 297. Spirit. 459. Skill. Holy Radiance Passive. LV2. Holy Angel is born with light attribute affinity, immune to light attribute attacks, and at the same time increases light attribute damage by 120%, damage to demons and corpses is additionally doubled. Purification active. LV2 remove all control effects and debuff effects on yourself and the host, and will not be subject to control effects again for the next 2 minutes. Holy Light Storm active. LV2 summons a Holy Light Storm in the designated area, causing high damage light attribute attacks. Sacred Slash active. LV2 flash forward for a certain distance, and use the lightsaber to slash the enemy. This skill ignores 40% of the enemy's defense effect. Angel Armed active. LV2 part weapon transform into armed state, and merge into the host's weapon. After fusion, the blade will inherit 20% of the angel's attribute value. Except that the basic attributes have all increased by 50 points. All of Xiao Yan's skill levels have also been improved. The duration of the purification has been increased to 2 minutes. The damage value of the light attribute has also increased to 120%. Besides, what interested Qin Feng the most was the ability of angel arming. After Xiaoyan is armed, the blade can inherit 20% of Xiaoyan's attributes, which is a considerable improvement. After all, Xiaoyan's basic attributes are there, 20% of the attribute value has exceeded 60 points. Coupled with the basic attributes of the Holy Silver Gun, the attributes of the Silver Gun can directly break through the 100-point mark. This can already be called an artifact at this stage. Xiao Yan's armed skills have been improved. Has my sacred inheritance also been improved? Qin Feng quickly checked his attributes. Qin Feng. Level 15. Occupation. Angel Summoner. Strength 134. Constitution 138. Agility 142. Spirit 157. Summoned Creature. Holy Angel Xiaoyan, 2nd rank Archangel. Skill. Angel Contract. Active skill. You can contract an angel and turn it into your own summoned creature. Note: can only be used on angels. Divine Inheritance passive. LV2 inherit 1/5 of the basic attributes of summoned creatures. Holy Light Strike active. LV2 use the weapon in hand to deal a powerful blow to the enemy. This skill ignores 20% of the enemy's defense effect. Explosive Orb active. LV2 summons a light attribute energy ball, causing explosive damage to the enemy, and the singing time is 0.8 seconds. Really, as Qin Feng expected, his own skills have also been comprehensively strengthened, and he has been promoted to the 2nd level. The attribute of Divine Inheritance also has 1/10 of the original, and it has become 1/5. It directly made Qin Feng's attribute values break through the 100-point barrier. If armed skills are added, then his attributes will be close to 200 points. This attribute value has surpassed the average 2nd turn professional. So scary. Level 15 is a 2nd turn job that surpasses level 30. This is the horror of Angel Summoner. I'm sure I'll be the provincial number 1 in the college entrance examination this time. Even if Xiaoyan doesn't make a move, my attributes are enough to crush those provincial arrogances. In Qin Feng's heart, incomparable pride emerged. Ding. But at this moment, another pleasant reminder sounded. Your Angel Xiaoyan has advanced to the 2nd level, unlocking the equipment creation function. Currently, we can create a strengthened location, the weapon. Equipment creation function. I just said that Xiaoyan's evolution is definitely not as simple as attribute and skill enhancement. Qin Feng quickly checked Xiaoyan's property panel. Sure enough, it was discovered that under Xiaoyan's attributes, there was another module for making weapons. Qin Feng clicked into check. A huge sword with half a person's width quietly floated on the interface. Sword of Holy Judgment, Xiaoyan exclusive. Grade: Whiteboard. Strength: +10. Constitution: +10. Dexterity: +10. Spirit: +15. The rank of equipment can be upgraded to gold, and there are 2 ways to create evolution for the host to choose. Option 1, it mainly strengthens strength and agility attributes, and requires materials such as red flame gold, black heavy soil, iron spike. Option 2, it mainly strengthens the spiritual attributes, and requires materials such as red flame gold, polished silver, ghost horn. Xiaoyan's attribute is mainly spirit, and skill damage is also linked to spirit attribute. For 2 options, Qin Feng didn't struggle, so he directly chose the 2nd one, the spirit attribute strengthening plan. The next step is to collect materials, and I just happened to go to the Chamber of Commerce to see if there are any strengthening potions suitable for me. After making up my mind, Qin Feng put on his clothes. Make Xiaoyan into the shape of a villain and put it on his shoulder. Then he put on his backpack and walked towards a nearby chamber of commerce. 10 minutes later, Qin Feng stood in front of a 5-story building. On the front of the building, there is also a black plaque carved with dragons and phoenixes. The center of the plaque is also engraved with 4 gold-plated characters of Wang's firm. Wang's firm, I don't know if it has anything to do with Wang Ya. Qin Feng said. Then he pushed open the heavy glass door and walked in. Just walked into the building. A tall welcoming lady in a cheongsam walked in. The young lady didn't look down on Qin Feng because of his plain clothes. She had a sincere smile on her face and asked, "Hi sir, welcome to Wang's firm, what service do you need?" It was the first time for Qin Feng to enjoy this kind of service since his rebirth, and he immediately felt relieved and said with a smile, "Do you sell materials for making equipment here? I want to buy some." Hearing Qin Feng's words, the young lady's smile deepened. "Okay sir, please come with me, our second floor area is the place to buy and sell materials." After finishing speaking, the young lady twisted her waist like a water snake, and led Qin Feng to the second floor. When going upstairs, the young lady specifically asked, "I don't know what materials you need to buy, sir." Qin Feng felt that the young lady's attitude was very comfortable, so he didn't hide anything, and explained the materials he needed. After speaking, Qin Feng clearly felt that the range of the young lady's waist twisting seemed to have become bigger. Soon, Qin Feng followed the young lady to the material trading area on the second floor. The young lady was very proactive and directly explained the materials Qin Feng needed to the counter clerk. Soon, the materials for making the equipment were taken out of the warehouse by the counter attendant and placed on the counter. "Hi sir, the total value of the materials you need is 3.5 million yuan. This price shocked Qin Feng a lot. He originally thought that 5 million was considered a huge sum of money. But now it seems that it was entirely because he was thinking too much. This money is simply not enough to spend. But in order to help Xiaoyan build a golden weapon, the money is worth it. Okay, Qin Feng gritted his teeth and nodded, "Let's pay directly by bank transfer." But at this time, wait a moment, a gentle voice came from behind Qin Feng. "Wang Ya, why are you here?" Qin Feng looked back and found 2 beautiful figures with similar looks. One of them is Wang Ya. "Qin Feng, it's really you." Wang Ya ran up with a smile, then looked at the materials on the counter, waved her hand, and said, "Why don't you ask me for the materials, waiter? These materials just give Qin Feng a free order." "Yes, second miss." The waiter nodded, packed the materials and handed them to Qin Feng. "Isn't that good?" Qin Feng hesitated. "There's nothing wrong with that. I haven't repaid you for saving my life. What are these things?" Wang Ya waved her hand. "What else do you need? Just say, I'll take care of it." A strong arrogance rushed over. This girl really didn't save her in vain. "Awesome." Qin Feng secretly gave Wang Ya a thumbs up. "Then I'll be rude." Qin Feng smiled. "Hurry up and take it." Wang Ya grabbed the materials, helped Qin Feng stuff them into the backpack, then pointed to the woman beside her, and introduced, "This is my own sister, Wang Rui, who is currently studying at Shengjing University. 1. Hi Qin Feng, I have known you for a long time." Wang Rui smiled and stretched out her hand. Shengjing University. Qin Feng was taken aback, and quickly used identification to check Wang Rui's attributes. Name, Wang Rui. Level 22. Occupation, Flame Mage. Skill, Good Guy, another hidden profession. And it is completely opposite to Wang Ya's Ice Mage, 1 Ice and 1 Fire, Sisters of Ice and Fire. While Qin Feng sighed, he also reached out his hand and shook Wang Rui. "Hi Sister Rui. Icy and cool, soft, very comfortable." After shaking hands, Qin Feng asked again, "By the way, how did you come to Nanjiang District?" Wang Ya smiled, "The 2 of us are here to find you. Didn't you save my life? I just thought about how to repay your life-saving grace. In the end, I decided to give you a chance to clear the copy of Silent Graveyard. This will also allow you to further improve your strength before the college entrance examination." Chapter 41. Silent Cemetery. Qin Feng used the identification technique on the teleportation scroll in Wang Ya's hand. Immediately, the information of the scroll surfaced. Dungeon, Silent Graveyard. Difficulty, Difficult. Suggested grade, 18 to 21. Number of people limit, no more than 4 people. Occupation restrictions, none. Clearance conditions, kill the silver boss, hate the skeleton king. How is it? Wang Ya looked at Qin Feng. This dungeon is not too big, it can be cleared in half a day, and it won't take you too much time. All right then. Qin Feng nodded and agreed. Anyway, idle is idle. It is also good to clear the copy. In addition to upgrading the level and harvesting treasure chests, you can also test the combat effectiveness of yourself and Xiao Yan. Very nice. After seeing Qin Feng, he agreed to come down. A smile appeared on Wang Ya's face. Pull Qin Feng into the team. Then directly crushed the teleportation scroll. The scroll turned into dots of light. All 3 figures were enveloped in it. Brush. Then all 3 people disappeared in the hall on the 2nd floor. The young lady who welcomed the guests looked at the place where Qin Feng disappeared, dazed. If you give me just 1 more minute, maybe it will work. ... White light flashed. The 3 of them were teleported inside the copy. More detailed dungeon information was also sent from the information panel. Dungeon, silent graveyard, difficulty, difficult. Suggested level, level 20. Clearance conditions, kill the silver boss, hate zombie king. Description: this place was originally a human cemetery, but at some point, an unknown energy enveloped the place. The dead body buried in the ground, affected by the energy, unexpectedly crawled out of the ground again, turning into a monster that lost its mind and only knew to attack humans. According to the difficulty of the dungeon and the suggested level, the final boss and Lorraine should have similar strengths. So, this dungeon is not difficult, but it's better than nothing. Looking at the information in the dungeon, Qin Feng guessed in his heart. And Wang Ya obviously thought of this too, with an incomparably relaxed and comfortable expression. On the other hand, Wang Rui, who had the highest level, looked a little nervous. Father, it's true that he created a dungeon with such a high level. You believe me too much. I don't believe in you. Wang Ya corrected, I believe in Qin Feng. Who knows if this guy can do it? Wang Rui looked at Qin Feng. You're almost praising him to the sky, don't be a soft persimmon in the end. Sister. Wang Ya stomped her feet. You are not allowed to say that about my friend. It's okay. Qin Feng smiled. It's normal for Sister Rui to have doubts about my strength. If someone tells me that a summoner can instantly kill the little leader of the Bloody Wind Bandit, I won't believe it either. It's interesting. Wang Rui patted Qin Feng's shoulder. Now I kind of believe in your strength. Let's go. Let my sister see your strength. Qin Feng smiled. No more talking. Just took the spear out of the space. He held it tightly in his hand. Take the lead in walking towards the depths of the copy. The copy of the map is not too big. It is a small hillside that is not too big. Look up. Windy. Grave bags appeared one after another on the hillside, without a blade of grass growing. Roar. It seems to feel the breath of a stranger. There came a low growl. Not far ahead, a small grave suddenly burst open. There was a bang. A white arm broke through the ground. Immediately afterwards, a skeleton with only fragments of broken clothes drilled out of the ground. With empty eye sockets, he stared at the 3 people not far away. All 3 are in a good mood. Facing the monster that suddenly appeared, he did not panic. Both use identification to check the attributes of monsters. Skeleton soldier, elite monster. Level 18. Strength 82. Constitution 46. Agility 78. Spirit 19. Skill bite. Active skill, use sharp claws and sharp teeth to attack the enemy, with infection effect. Infection passive. After being infected, the place will become stiff and hardened, unable to move, and the wound will quickly rot and fester. After seeing the attributes of the monster, Wang Ya opened her mouth wide and said, what a high attribute of strength and agility. Yeah. Qin Feng also nodded. The characteristics of this monster are indeed very obvious. It has super attack power, but its defense power is very weak. When attacking, just move carefully. After one comment, Qin Feng suddenly took 2 big steps forward, appeared in front of the skeleton in an instant. Stab forward with a strong shot. Ka, cha, there was the sound of bones breaking. Before the skeleton soldier could react, the spear had pierced his breastbone. Immediately afterwards, Qin Feng shook his arm. Ka ka ka. Where the spear pierced, dense cracks like spider webs instantly extended. Next, there was a wow. The entire skeleton soldier shattered into countless pieces, fell to the ground, and died completely. The whole process took less than a second. The skeleton soldier was instantly killed without even making any sound or movement. Good. So strong. Wang Rui looked at Qin Feng's back and said blankly, a level 18 elite creature was killed in a single shot. Isn't this too powerful? Qin Feng is really a monster. Summoner. Hey. Wang Ya smiled, now you know I didn't lie to you. Qin Feng is indeed a summoner. Once you let him show you Xiaoyan, you will be completely surprised. Just when the two sisters communicated. Ho ho. Nearby small graves. It seemed that they were all awakened by the sound of a fight. Boom, boom, boom. Nearly 100 skeleton soldiers broke open the grave bag one after another and crawled out of the grave. With baring teeth and claws, he rushed towards the three of them. Well done. Qin Feng let out a low cry, raised his gun and stabbed. Qin Feng's pace was extremely fast. Often a wrong step is made. It has already appeared 3 or 5 meters away. Then he decisively pulled out his gun and closed it. Each attack, there is bound to be a skeleton soldier falling down and turning into a pile of dry bones. Even without the blessing of Xiaoyan's armed forces, Qin Feng's agility value was much higher than that of these skeletons. Facing Qin Feng's attack, the skeletons couldn't react at all. Only tens of seconds passed. The nearly 100 skeleton soldiers all fell under Qin Feng's spear. The price he paid was a layer of sweat on Qin Feng's forehead. After a short rest, it's all right. This scene, seen by the two sisters standing behind, they were stunned. The cute little mouth is opened wide. This is too powerful. This is no longer the crushing of attributes, but the crushing of combat skills. His spear dances so airtightly that these skeletons can't get within 2 meters of him, and they will be smashed to pieces by the spear point. This Qin Feng has only changed jobs for less than half a month. Where did he get such a perverted fighting spirit? Even some seniors from Shengjing University I know are not so scary. Wang Rui covered her mouth with her little hand, and said with a dull expression. I don't know either. Wang Ya was also very surprised. Looking at Qin Feng's back, I always thought that Qin Feng would crush opponents with attributes, but I didn't expect his fighting skills to be so strong. Just when the two sisters were discussing, Qin Feng had already cleaned up the battlefield and walked towards the two of them. At the same time, the crisp and pleasant prompt sound also sounded in my mind. Ding, you killed the skeleton soldier and gained 1200 experience points. Xiaoyan gained 1200 experience points. Ding. A series of questions sounded. Qin Feng's mood also became happier. Killing a skeleton soldier rewards 1200 experience points. After killing nearly 100 of them, it has already made his experience value close to half of level 15. Subsequently, Qin Feng looked at the small graves all over the hill again, and said with a smile. It is estimated that clearing this mountain will at least increase the level of Xiaoyan and me by 1 level. Sure enough, the rewards in the dungeon are rich. 1 dungeon reward can almost keep up with my 3 days of non-stop brushing in the wild. Qin Feng returned to the team while thinking. And at this time, the two sisters Wang Ya and Wang Rui have been staring at him for a long time. It seems to be still in the shop just now, until Qin Feng stretched out his hand and waved it in front of their eyes. They both came back to their senses. They all looked at Qin Feng and said, Qin Feng, you are awesome. Qin Feng, you are really amazing. Ah, this. Qin Feng heard the praise from the two people. I feel that the whole person is not well. Why is this compliment so unique? There is no evidence to suspect the car. Then, Qin Feng smiled and said, come on, let's move on. Talking, Qin Feng took the lead and walked towards the top of the mountain. Okay, with Qin Feng here, it seems that I don't need to do this dungeon anymore, we just need to rely on experience. Wang Rui also smiled and said, looking extremely relaxed. After seeing Qin Feng's strength, she felt that the decision made by the little sister and her father was really right. With a little investment of money and a copy of the secret realm, Qin Feng's favorability can be gained. This deal is really profitable. After all, a genius like Qin Feng. As long as they don't die halfway, they will definitely emerge in the future. Now is the best time to invest. The return in the future may be thousands of times. Maybe Qin Feng's words in the future. It will bring the Wang family's business to a higher level. Then, Wang Rui's attitude towards Qin Feng has undergone an earth-shaking change, from a little alienation to an enthusiasm like a volcano about to erupt. It made Qin Feng feel a little uncomfortable. However, the atmosphere between the three is obviously much more harmonious. That's all. Qin Feng was chatting with two people. Clean up the skeletons that came out of the graves along the way. Talking and laughing. It has come to the top of the mountain. Here, it is a wide platform like a football field. Central location of the platform. A black tombstone with a height of 10 meters and a width of 5 meters was erected. The inscription on the tombstone has been corroded by the years so that it cannot be seen clearly. And on both sides of this huge tombstone, there are also two slightly smaller tombstones standing separately. It seems to be guarding the huge tombstone in the middle. It seems that this is the tombstone where the final boss hates the Skeleton King. Qin Feng said, looking at the huge tombstone. Ka, cha, it seems to be in response to Qin Feng's general. The three tombstones made the sound of the mechanism starting at the same time. Immediately afterwards, on the ground of the three tombstones, a terrifying deep pit was exposed respectively. Subsequently, three skeletons in armor, armed with knives, shields and spears, walked out of the deep pit. Standing in the center, the skeleton holding a long gun stared at the three of them with eyes that were shining with green fire. The final, click, sound of bones rubbing against each other. Miraculously, the three of Qin Feng actually understood the meaning of the click sound. Ignorant human beings dare to disturb this king's sleep. Court death. The three of Qin Feng had no intention of communicating with the skeleton. They used identification techniques on the three skeletons one after another. Skeleton Guard, Bronze Boss. Grade, 21. Strength, 105. Constitution, 136. Agility, 98. Spirit, 67. Skill, Guardian Shield passive, can absorb half of the damage received by Skeleton King. Shield Bash active, swinging the shield to attack the enemy, causing a 1-second stun effect after hitting. Charge active, launch a quick charge to the enemy, causing a taunt effect for 1 second, and at the same time use the sword to slash the enemy. Hate the Skeleton King, 5-star silver. Grade, 23. Strength, 232. Constitution, 147. Agility, 149. Spirit, 85. Skill, Skeleton King passive, Skeleton Guards swear allegiance to the Skeleton King. Before the Skeleton Guard dies, the Skeleton King will not die if he receives fatal damage. Skeleton Physique passive, Skeleton King's bones can be immune to 80% physical damage, but the magic damage received will increase to 120%. Skeleton Summoning active, 1 minute after the death of the Skeleton Guard, the Skeleton King can resummon 2 Skeleton Guards. Spear Stab active, wielding a spear to attack the enemy, ignoring 30% of the target's defense. Such a terrifying boss attribute. A Skeleton Physique, directly immune to 80 physical damage. And there is also a life-saving skill of the Skeleton King. As long as there are Skeleton Guards in the field, then Skeletron wouldn't die. And, after the Skeleton Guard dies, Skeletron can also resummon 2 Skeleton Guards after 1 minute. That is to say, want to kill the Skeleton King completely. It must be within 1 minute of beheading the Skeleton Guard. Completely eliminate Skeleton King. The setting of this boss. It can already be called perverted. If a team with pure physical damage comes in, I'm afraid I'm going to cry right away. But fortunately, Xiaoyan's Holy Light Storm skill belongs to magic damage, and Xiaoyan has a natural restraint effect on such undead creatures, so it is not too difficult to get rid of this boss. There was a contented smile on Qin Feng's face. As for Wang Ya and Wang Rui, at this time, a look of anxiety and fear appeared on his face. Qin Feng, this Skeleton King has the ability to be immune to physical damage. Wang Rui looked at Qin Feng. Why don't you be responsible for killing the Skeleton Guards in seconds, and then Xiaoya and I will use the skills together to see if we can kill the Skeleton King in seconds, how about it? Quote. This is the only way to pass the level. And when Qin Feng heard this, he smiled, shook his head slowly, and said, Sister Rui, don't worry, although it's true that I have suffered physical damage. But I never said that Xiaoyan was physically injured. Just watch it here, this boss is not difficult for Xiaoyan to kill. Hearing Qin Feng's words, Wang Ya was stunned for a moment. Some doubts said, but I clearly remember that Xiao Yan used a giant sword. Qin Feng, don't be brave. Wang Ya hurriedly tried to stop Qin Feng. But they saw a beautiful four-winged archangel appearing beside Qin Feng. At the same time, on the great sword in the hand of the archangel, the dazzling holy light is lit. Xiao Yan's light voice followed. Holy light storm. The moment the voice fell, the two sisters Wang Ya saw that shocking scene. I saw not far ahead. Countless sacred radiance condensed, forming a huge storm with a height of 10 meters and a radius of about 1 meter wide. Call, call, call. The howling wind swept all the surrounding earth, trees, grass and rocks into it. The two guards standing in front of the skeleton king were sucked into the storm without any resistance. Rumble. The holy light shines, and the two skeleton guards in the holy light storm are constantly bearing the erosive power of the holy light. The shields and armor in their hands completely melted in an instant, dissipating into this world. Next, even the bones of the two guards, which were as hard as iron, could not hold on for a second, and they melted at a speed visible to the naked eye. Ka, ka. The will-o'-the-wisps in the skeleton king's eyes began to falter, as if fearing the power of the holy light. After he let out a shrill roar, he dropped the weapon in his hand and fled towards the tomb. But before it ran a few steps, chased up by the storm that swept in. Next moment, his huge body was sucked into the storm. The skeleton king actually uttered a human-like wailing sound, and its bones also made an overwhelmed clicking sound. After a few seconds, there was a bang. The skeleton king's body exploded directly. The storm dissipated slowly. Looking at the original position, there was only a pile of black dregs of the skeleton king left, and his back was as tall as a mountain, standing with his hands behind his back. The two Wang Ya and Wang Rui in the rear fell into a sluggish moment. What's the situation? The skeleton king and the two skeleton guards were instantly killed by a single skill. Behind, Wang Rui's eyes widened, and her tone was full of disbelief. To know, the skeleton king is a lord boss full of silver stars. Even if it is a hidden job with rank 2 or above. It is absolutely impossible to do such a quick kill. And Xiao Yan only used one skill. He instantly killed the skeleton king without even giving him a chance to fight back. Is this the angel family? Wang Ya was also extremely surprised. Perhaps even the ancient mythical beasts don't have such power at this level. Instead of calling Xiao Yan an angel clan, it would be more reasonable to call him a god clan, right? Even Qin Feng was secretly surprised at Xiao Yan's power. After Xiao Yan advanced, he had already crushed the skeleton king in terms of attributes. Coupled with the restraint effect of the attribute, the damage is doubled. The skeleton king was actually in Xiao Yan's hands, and he couldn't even survive 5 seconds. It's too perverted. Seeing that Qin Feng was shocked by him, Xiao Yan let out a joyful laugh. Brother Qin, am I amazing? Yeah. Qin Feng scratched Xiao Yan's pretty nose. Xiao Yan is the best. Slap, slap. At this time, 2 rays of light suddenly flashed where the skeleton bosses were standing just now. Immediately afterwards, a cyan and a silver treasure chest appeared from the void and fell to the ground. Hey, Qin Feng, you're lucky. 2 treasure chests burst out of the 3 bosses. Wang Ya came up from behind, looked at the treasure chest on the ground and said, Yes, Qin Feng, I didn't expect you to be so lucky besides your strength. Wang Rui also walked up, looked at Qin Feng and said. Qin Feng looked at the 2 treasure chests on the ground and was also a little surprised. He still has some understanding of the explosion rate of the treasure chest. The probability of the bronze boss getting out of the treasure box is about 1% to 5%. And the probability of a silver level boss releasing a treasure chest will not exceed 15%. So, 2 treasure chests burst out from 3 bosses. It's a very lucky thing. Subsequently, Qin Feng took 2 steps forward. Put both hands on the 2 treasure chests at the same time. Brush, brush. 2 rays of light flashed at the same time. A green helmet and a silver ring appeared in Qin Feng's hands. Green helmet. Grade. Bronze. Strength. +2 1. Constitution. +2 4. Spirit. +1 9. Level. 15. Occupational limitation. Warrior, Knight equipable. What can be equipped? After Qin Feng saw the name of the equipment, he felt bad. What a shit name. It is estimated that no one will bring it. The two girls, Wang Ya and Wang Rui, also burst out laughing when they saw the helmet's name. Qin Feng's face turned dark, hastily put the helmet into the backpack. After preparing to go out the copy, sell this helmet to someone who is destined. Subsequently, the three looked at the silver ring again. Slayer ring. Grade: Silver. Strength: +3-2. Agility: +2-4. Spirit: +2-8. Skill: Slayer passive. Every time you kill a monster, the 4-dimensional attribute will increase by 1 point, up to 10 points can be accumulated. Level: 15. Occupation restrictions: none. Woohoo takes off. A level 15 silver ring, strength, agility and spirit +3 points, the overall calculation is close to 100 points. And it also comes with a passive special effect of the killer, which can reach a total of 44 dimensional attributes for nothing, which can definitely be called a small best. Coincidentally, Qin Feng's ring column was still empty. Did not hesitate. Qin Feng put the ring on his finger directly. The ring is extremely gorgeous, shining dazzling light in the sunlight. Even Wang Ya and Wang Rui, the eldest ladies of Wang's firm, showed envious looks in their eyes. But they also knew that Qin Feng must be in urgent need of this ring, so they didn't mention buying the ring, but just expressed their envy. Subsequently, no hidden spaces like Gran's forest appear. After the three of them stepped out of the teleportation array, they successfully teleported back to the lobby on the second floor of Wang's commercial bank. Qin Feng, is there anything else you need? Wang Ya patted her chest and said, just tell me, I will pay for today's consumption. A strong arrogance rushed over. But Qin Feng is not the kind of person who is greedy. Deng even shook his head directly, rejecting Wang Ya's kindness. Okay. Wang Ya shook her head in disappointment, and then asked suddenly, by the way, Qin Feng, with your strength, it shouldn't be too difficult to get the provincial champion. Which university do you want to go to? I'm going to Shengjing University. Qin Feng pondered for a while and said, in fact, on the second day after I changed my job, I already agreed to the special recruitment envoy of Shengjing University, senior sister Shengguanyu, to enter Shengjing University. The reason why I still take the college entrance examination is because I want to get the top prize in the provincial and municipal college entrance examinations. After all, you know my family's situation. Shengjing University. That's great. Wang Ya jumped up excitedly. I'm also preparing to apply for Shengjing University. Wang Rui was a little surprised. You mean Shengguanyu from Shengjing University? Is there any problem? Qin Feng looked at Wang Rui. It's nothing. Wang Rui smiled. I'm just a little surprised. Shengguanyu is the strongest among the freshman students of Shengjing University. I didn't expect her to recruit you. It seems that you are quite popular. Shengjing University values it. Hear Wang Rui's words. Qin Feng was taken aback. What are you talking about? Is Shengguanyu only a freshman? But she's already a second grader. To know, although it is a top school like Shengjing University. Generally, the level of senior graduates is around 40. The better ones may reach level 45. But Shengguanyu turned 2 and reached level 30 when she was a freshman. If this is when he graduates, I'm afraid it can reach level 50 and go through 3 rounds. And 3 turns, even if it is placed on the battlefield of all races. It can also be called the existence of the mainstay. Those who are more powerful can already be regarded as commanders, commanding thousands of troops. Yes, Wang Rui nodded. That's why I was so surprised. I'm also a freshman. I'm in the same class as Shengguanyu, but he's 8 levels ahead of me. It's really amazing. Qin Feng nodded, having a new understanding of Shengguanyu's strength. Subsequently, the 3 of them chatted for a while. Qin Feng bid farewell to the 2 of them, took a taxi, and embarked on the road back to the orphanage. A few minutes later, Qin Feng returned to the orphanage. When he saw the orphanage, I was dumbfounded. I wonder if I have gone to the wrong place. Because, in the compound, the small 3-story building that was originally small has disappeared. Instead, there are ruins all over the place. Beside the ruins, there are many workers wearing hard hats, manipulating one smart excavator one after another, loading the ruins into trucks and pulling them out. Go, the construction site, outsiders are not allowed to enter. At this time, a middle-aged man with glasses ran over and said to Qin Feng. Quote. Qin Feng was stunned for a moment, and asked, "Brother, can I ask, what happened here? Where are the children from the orphanage? Oh, are you Qin Feng?" The middle-aged man looked Qin Feng up and down, and then said, "We are the construction team of Wang's construction company. I received an order from above to completely remodel the Sunshine Orphanage. The elderly and children living there were all arranged in nearby hotels." Hear the middle-aged man's explanation. Qin Feng understood. Wang Construction Company. It must be a subsidiary of the Wang family. Maybe, the idea of transforming the orphanage was proposed by that girl Wang Ya. This girl has a heart, and it's not impossible to take care of her more in the future. Qin Feng secretly remembered Wang Ya's favor. Then after asking the direction of the hotel, then he bid farewell to the middle-aged man and rushed towards the hotel. Night. Qin Feng found the hotel. After talking to the front desk, they were led to the 5th floor of the hotel. Only then did Qin Feng know. This hotel is also the property of the Wang family. When the orphanage reconstruction plan came down, the hotel also received an order at the same time to vacate the entire 5th floor for the children of the Sunshine Orphanage to live in. When Qin Feng came to the hotel, Wang Chenghai, Li Jing and the children were eating in the exclusive restaurant of the hotel. On the table, there are some seafood feasts such as bird's nest and abalone, and even some monster meat that can strengthen the body. The children flew up happily after eating, their mouths were full of oil, and their little feet kept shaking on the bench. But the moment these children saw Qin Feng, still put down the food in hand, they ran to Qin Feng in unison and shouted, "Thank you, Brother Qin." They lived in misery from childhood, so be more grateful. They all know, now they can live in high-end hotels and eat seafood feasts. They are all under the light of Qin Feng. Even Wang Chenghai came over and bowed slightly to Qin Feng. "Zhaofeng, thank you, you gave these children the chance to change their destiny." However, this move was directly dodged by Qin Feng. "Grandpa Dean, I can't bear such a big gift from you. What I have done is completely what I should do." Okay. Wang Chenghai smiled. "You don't have to be so modest, your great kindness to these children is tantamount to giving birth to parents. It's only natural to be greeted by the old man." After finishing speaking, Wang Chenghai saw that Qin Feng seemed to be even more embarrassed, so he stopped bringing up the topic and greeted him. "Stop standing still, haven't you eaten yet? Let's make dinner soon." "All right. At the same time, Royal Villa. Wang Ya and Wang Rui sat on the sofa and chatted. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I would never have imagined that there are such powerful creatures as angels in this world. Wang Rui looked adoring. At level 10, you can instantly kill a level 20 silver full star boss, which is really amazing. Qin Feng is also very powerful. Wang Ya said, even without Xiaoyan, Qin Feng's combat power should not be underestimated, even stronger than those fighters who have changed their profession to a hidden profession. 2 of the 3 sentences cannot be separated from Qin Feng. Wang Rui joked, "Could it be that you like Qin Feng?" "What, sis, don't talk nonsense." Wang Ya's tone suddenly became extremely flustered, her eyes also became erratic, her whole body was like a deer bumping wildly, her pretty face turned red. This kind of behavior has already betrayed her small thoughts. Seeing my sister's expression, Wang Rui gave a smirk. "If you like it, you will like it. Anyway, you will graduate from high school soon, and it's not impossible to fall in love. Besides, Qin Feng is so handsome, and he is your savior. I don't think even your father will refuse." Cough. At this time, 2 coughing sounds suddenly came from upstairs. After Wang Ya and Wang Rui saw the person coming, they stopped teasing immediately. Sweetly called out, "Father." Wang Jingming nodded, went downstairs and sat on the sofa, looked at the 2 and asked, "How is Qin Feng's performance today? Is it worth investing heavily?" Although Wang Jingming asked, but through the performance of the 2 daughters, already guessed a rough idea. Qin Feng's performance is definitely beyond expectations. If not, the 2 daughters will not be so happy. Sure enough, it did not meet Wang Jingming's expectation. "I heard my father mention Qin Feng." Wang Ya showed an adoring smile on her face again, and said, "It's worth it, it's really worth it. You don't know, those skeleton monsters in the dungeon, in front of Qin Feng, are no different from pigs and dogs. Qin Feng slaughtered hundreds of monsters in less than 5 minutes. Hundreds of skeleton warriors, 5 minutes. Before Wang Jingming could react, Wang Ya continued to say. Also, Xiaoyan, the angel contracted by Qin Feng, is even more perverted. With only one skill, the Skeleton King and the guard's little boss were instantly killed. Wang Jingming was completely shocked. So much so that I didn't hear what Wang Ya said at all. My mind is full of, one skill instantly killed the Skeleton King. This copy of Quiet Cemetery. Wang Jingming still knew about it. Skeleton King, a level 23 silver full-star boss. The angel who was contracted by Qin Feng, a skill was given in seconds. Wang Jingming wondered if he was dreaming. He secretly pinched his thigh fiercely. Pain came. Only then did Wang Jingming confirm that he was not in a dream, and everything he heard was true. After taking a deep breath, Wang Jingming took out the phone. After dialing a phone number, said directly and quickly, I changed the construction blueprint of the Sunshine Orphanage. Let me change the 5th floor to the 7th floor, plus an elevator. Build another cafeteria, and another sports field. The other side was silent for a while, and said, Boss, according to what you said, the orphanage is not big enough. Not enough. Wang Jingming was stunned for a moment, and shouted, Do you still need me to teach you? Isn't there an unfinished building next to the orphanage? Just buy the land for me. Then expand. Quote. The other side of the phone was silent for a while, and then said, Okay, boss. Time passed slowly. Soon came June 7th, the day of the college entrance examination. Qin Feng woke up from his sleep. After feeling the surging power in his body, the haze in his eyes quickly disappeared, and then a dazzling brilliance flashed across his eyes. Level 16. Xiaoyan's level 11. A strength attribute of more than 200 points. Here comes the number 1 scholar in Function Province. Simply had breakfast. Qin Feng took the candidate ID card and went out. After walking for 10 minutes, they came to the playground of No. 3 High School. At this time, the playground was already filled with dense crowds, all of whom were candidates for the college entrance examination. Along the way, Qin Feng's ears were filled with the voices of the examinees around him who were looking forward to, or nervous. I don't know what grades my 12th level fighter can get in the college entrance examination. Not to mention too much, I am satisfied if I can be admitted to a martial arts school. One martial arts school at the 12th level. Are you thinking of farting? Every school year in our entire Tianfu city, there are only about 1,000 people who can be admitted to a martial arts school. And among these 1,000 people, the lowest strength is also around level 14. Do you think you can get into one if you are level 12? Being able to get into a second class is considered a high incense. Quote. That's right, you took half a month's leave after changing jobs, and you've only been promoted 2 grades. With your bad behavior, you still want to be admitted to a bachelor's degree. Dream on. As soon as the voice fell, it immediately attracted the wailing of many students. Isn't level 12 even an undergraduate course? Isn't this too perverted? If I had known, I would have gone to the wild to focus on killing monsters, and I wouldn't have been watching small videos at home all day. Quote. Brother, you are really good. I heard that Wang Dong, Wang Ya and others who changed jobs this year and became hidden professions, are all day and night killing monsters and upgrading. You are good, and you can watch small videos. You like it. But having said that, what happened to Qin Feng who changed his job and became a hidden job in our school? Why is there no information at all? Could it be hip pulling? There is indeed no news about Qin Feng, but I know that Wang Dong has already reached level 15, and with his powerful profession as a ghost swordsman, he may be able to compete even if he is the provincial champion. Yes, there is also Wang Ya, who is said to be above level 15, Master Frost, and a strong contender for the provincial champion. Hearing these words, Qin Feng couldn't help feeling a little bit of anticipation in his heart. Ghost swordsman above level 15, and that girl Xiaoya. Interesting. Tianfu City already has so many powerful competitors. Presumably in the entire Function Province. There must be a more powerful existence. I hope these people are as strong as they are boasted. Otherwise, wouldn't it be too boring for the college entrance examination to become a one-person performance? Qin Feng was thinking while looking for the location of Class 5. After a while, after he came to the team of Class 5, It was found that Zhou Shan had already started the final mobilization. After 9 o'clock, the college entrance examination will officially begin. At that time, you can use identification to check the portal first, and then you can get detailed copy information. You must do what you can, choose a dungeon that suits your strength, and don't try to be brave. Although it is said that the school will issue return scrolls, the scrolls also need time to be used. I don't hope that there won't be any casualties in our 5th class. Hearing Zhou Shan's serious tone, the students in Class 5 also became extremely serious. He nodded heavily and shouted, "Clear, there are casualty indicators in the college entrance examination. In other words, it is very possible to die in the copy of the college entrance examination. Every year, there will be a few candidates who are overwhelmed and die in the dungeon. People are not stupid." Naturally, he would not joke about his own life. Seeing the students nodding, Zhou Shan didn't say any more, and after distributing the return scrolls, he waited for the start of the big exam with peace of mind. "Qin Feng, have you found a good team? I still need a spot here, do you want to come?" In the line, a little fat man in the front row turned his head and asked. "This person is Qin Feng's deskmate, Huang Zheng. I won't go, you can look for it again, I have my own plan." Qin Feng shook his head and rejected Huang Zheng. "Joke. If you want to successfully get the provincial champion, you need to brush the most difficult dungeon alone, which is the most basic condition. Forming a team will only waste the scores of the big test. Don't talk about Huang Zheng. Even if Wang Ya is here, Qin Feng would not agree to her either. Of course. It is estimated that with Wang Ya's temper, she would choose to solo and would not ask such boring questions. Time passed slowly. Finally, at this moment, it was exactly 9 o'clock. Standing on the podium, the archmage who was in charge of supervising the examination tore apart an ancient scroll in his hand. Suddenly, in the center of the playground, a teleportation vortex with a diameter of more than 5 meters appeared. The vortex rotates slowly, spewing out white light, attracting people's mind. At the same time, Principal Li Hai's voice came from the school radio. "Okay, students, I won't say more about the rules of the college entrance examination. Next I declare, the college entrance examination has officially started. All students, please enter the copy and take the exam within 15 minutes. Hear the principal's voice. All the students used identification techniques one after another to check the information in the dungeon. College entrance exam, Goblin Dungeon. Recommended grade, 12 to 18. Optional difficulty, easy, normal, difficult, nightmare. Number of people required, 1 to 5 people. Description: there are tribes of goblins all over the unknown underground city. These little green-skinned monsters have always been cruel and merciless to those who invade their territory. When the information came out that it was a goblin dungeon, everyone's face is very dignified. It's actually a goblin dungeon. This is troublesome. The environment in the dungeon is relatively dark, and creatures like goblins are very intelligent. Maybe they will encounter sneak attacks just after entering. And goblins are still creatures that live in groups, so it's difficult to deal with. The most important thing is that you have noticed whether there is an optional difficulty, and the nightmare level is actually open. I remember that this is the second time that the nightmare level has been opened in the past 50 years, right? Yes, I also heard that only when there is a peerless genius in the province, the application will be opened. Could it be that some monstrosity really happened in our Function province this year? A copy is hard to come by. But that doesn't stop the enthusiasm of the students. Everyone has worked hard for this day, so naturally they will not give up because of the difficulty of the problem. Soon, the students adjusted their mood one after another. There were also voices seeking to form a team one after another on the playground. Because combat professions are very scarce, everyone's requirements for players are not too high. Within a team, there are often 3 combat occupations that are considered very good. Generally, there are 3 combat professions, one with an enchantment profession, and one with a life profession such as a pharmacist. Warrior professions are generally Usangia, knight warrior and mages. Cavaliers act as the front row to resist damage. Warriors are responsible for physical output. FAE is responsible for magic damage. Then add an enchanter who can enchant equipment, and a pharmacist who can replenish the status. Such a lineup is already considered perfect. Of course, Some people also formed a terrifying lineup of 5 combat professions. For example, the second young master of the Zhang family in the first class, Zhang Fan, surrounded by 4 combat professions. The occupations of the 5 of them are knights, warriors, mages, priests and archers. The perfect lineup, whether it is long range or melee, magic or physics, is all available. The only fly in the ointment is that there is no hidden occupation. Let's go, brothers, since everyone is watching, I, Zhang Fan, will make a sample for everyone and find out the way for everyone. After finishing speaking, Zhang Fan led the team members into the dungeon. Immediately, the light enveloped Zhang Fan, and the translucent light screen above the vortex also showed the specific information of Zhang Fan's team. Name: Zhang Fan. Number of people: 5 people. Difficulty: Nightmare. I rely on. After seeing the information on the light screen, the playground almost exploded. As expected of Zhang Fan, he is really awesome. He dared to choose the difficulty of Nightmare. Isn't he afraid that he will die in it? He's Zhang or Xiao. Didn't you see his gorgeous bronze suit? Die. Then you think too much. Even if you can't beat him, there is no problem in returning safely. Quote. After discussing for a while, the students stopped waiting. They organized their teams one after another and began to enter the dungeon. Very quickly, less than a minute, all the candidates on the playground entered the dungeon. Next moment, the teleportation vortex slowly disappeared. In its place is a huge screen that covers almost the entire sky. The information of all the students in No. 3 high school and the difficulty of selecting the dungeon were all displayed on the screen. Even on some screens, the live broadcast has already begun to enter the battle scene of the students in the dungeon. At this time, except for the school leaders sitting on the high platform and the teachers of each class, there are also many students in the first and second grades who sat in the spectator seats with their parents to watch the game. Class 1, Chapter Arrival, Occupation, Warrior, Challenge Difficulty, Difficult, Number of People, 1. Class 1, Wang Chang, Occupation, Mage, Challenge Difficulty, Difficult, Number of People, 1. Class 1 is indeed the rocket class of the entire number 3 high school. Received special attention from teachers and classmates. Even Li Hai, who was on the podium, nodded in satisfaction and said, this year's class is still very good, and the courage to challenge the peak is commendable. Ha ha ha, Principal Li is right. At this moment, a burst of hearty laughter came from below the podium. Everyone quickly looked down. A tall, burly, handsome, masculine middle-aged man in a black suit slowly walked up to the podium. President Wang, why do you come to our No. 3 middle school when you have time? Li Hai hurriedly stood up to greet him, and the guest was welcomed to the main seat, while he himself sat on the side seat. The person who came was none other than Wang Jingming, the chairman of the Wang Chamber of Commerce. Shouldn't he be going to No. 1 middle school at this moment to watch Wang Ya's contest? How did you come to the 3rd middle school? Everyone was very puzzled. It's nothing, isn't Qin Feng in your school? Wang Jingming smiled. That little guy has a relationship with me, so I came here to see his performance in the final exam. Qin Feng. Li Hai nodded thoughtfully, and ordered to the teacher who was presiding over the ceremony, please adjust Qin Feng's video to the most prominent position. The teacher nodded. Suddenly, in the center of the screen, a particularly eye-catching message appeared. Class 5, Qin Feng, Occupation, Angel Summoner, Challenge Difficulty, Nightmare, Number of People, 1. The moment they saw Qin Feng's message, bursts of unbelievable noise erupted from the auditorium and the rostrum. Single-player Nightmare Difficulty. Qin Feng, is he crazy? Oh my god, Qin Feng, how dare he? How dare he solo the difficulty of Nightmare? Could it be that Qin Feng has found a creature he can contract with? But isn't the level of the contracted creature to be upgraded from level 1? In 15 days, it's not bad to be able to reach level 10. A 10th level contracted creature, plus a weak summoner, can fight nightmares alone. Are you courting death? All of a sudden, Qin Feng directly became the focus of discussion among the audience. It can only be said that it is too eye-catching and crazy to play Nightmare alone. But it was different from the fierceness in the auditorium. The rostrum here is much calmer. Li Hai smiled and said, although I knew Qin Feng would choose to solo Nightmare, I was still surprised when I saw it. It's really shocking enough. Wang Jingming nodded. As far as I know, in the entire Tianfu city, there may not be more than 5 people who choose to play the Nightmare difficulty alone. These 5 people are all the children of the big family. They have been cultivated by the family since they were young, and their attributes are much higher than their peers. And a kid like Qin Feng, who is not even considered a poor family, can really be said to be a miracle. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I'm afraid I wouldn't have believed it was a real thing. Li Hai and the rest of the school leaders also deeply agreed. Indeed, Nightmare difficulty is very dangerous. Even the second son of the Zhang family, Zhang Fan, had more than 20 strength points before he changed jobs. When taking the big exam, he also wore a whole set of bronze equipment. That's the kind of person. It is also a team of 5 people. Dare to enter the dungeon of Nightmare difficulty. It is conceivable that, how terrifying is a dungeon with Nightmare difficulty? Everyone was very curious, looking forward to Qin Feng's next performance. What whole card did he have that gave him the courage to solo the Nightmare dungeon? You have come to the Goblin dungeon. The difficulty you choose is Nightmare difficulty. You have already carried the return scroll, which can be used at any time, but please note that you cannot be attacked when using the scroll, otherwise the teleportation will be interrupted. He was in a trance for a while, waiting for Qin Feng to come back to his senses. He was already in a dungeon. The atmosphere in this dungeon is terrifying. Basically no light shines through. The lighting is all dependent on the torches on the wall that emit flickering lights. Coupled with the smell of blood in the air from time to time, and the dense white bones randomly placed on the side of the road. Make this dungeon look like hell on earth. If ordinary people come in, I'm afraid that he will be so frightened that his liver and gallbladder will be split, and he will lose all his strength and sit slumped on the ground. Fortunately, Qin Feng can be regarded as someone who has seen the world. Just after taking 2 deep breaths, then he calmed down again. This is the Goblin dungeon on Nightmare difficulty. Qin Feng squeezed his fist. Then let me see, who is whose nightmare. Then, Qin Feng walked carelessly towards the depths of the dungeon. At the same time, a light flashed in his hand, and a bronze-level saber appeared in his hand. Because of the fairness of the college entrance examination, the grade of equipment is limited to black iron grade and bronze grade. The holy silver spear is temporarily unavailable. But Qin Feng didn't care. With the blessing of Xiaoyan's holy weapon, even if it was a bronze weapon, after being armed, its attributes would not be lower than gold equipment. Xiaoyan also woke up from Qin Feng's hair, and turned into a small man the size of a palm, sitting on his shoulder, looking at everything in front of him with great interest. Brother Qin, what is this place? It smells really bad. Xiaoyan waved his hand in front of his nose and said in disgust. Be patient. Qin Feng poked Xiaoyan with his finger. I'll take you to play something fun later. Fun stuff. Xiaoyan looked at Qin Feng, his big eyes filled with puzzlement. Boom. At this moment, in the darkness in the distance, an unknown object the size of a fist directly attacked Qin Feng's face. Coming, Qin Feng took a step back slightly, raised his saber, and slashed at the unknown object. With a sound of clang, the object was split in half and fell to the ground. Under the dark flames, only then did Qin Feng see clearly that the object was a black lacquered stone the size of a fist. At the same time, in the dark place in the distance, green, short, and half-human tall ugly monsters have appeared. Some of these monsters held swords or maces in their hands. Some carried a basket on their backs, containing many stones. Obviously, the stones that attacked Qin Feng were thrown by these little green-skinned monsters carrying bamboo baskets. The moment these little monsters saw Qin Feng, suddenly there was a piercing howl. Ah, ow. Immediately afterwards, these little monsters brandished swords and sharp axes, and rushed towards Qin Feng. Use this opportunity. Qin Feng also detected the specific attributes of these little monsters. Goblin Warrior Elite Monster Beast. Level 18. Strength 101. Constitution 89. Agility 92. Spirit 78. Skills: Charge, Slash, Throwing Goblin Elite Monster Beast. Level 19. Strength 125. Constitution 80. Agility 90. Spirit 86. Skills. Throwing, howling active skills, can weaken all attributes of the enemy by 10%. Comma. It is indeed a copy of the nightmare level, although the level of these little goblins is similar to that of skeleton soldiers. But the attributes have been completely crushed. Even their strength attributes have broken through triple digits. For the students who have just changed jobs for half a month, this is like an invincible existence. It is estimated that an ordinary student will come. Even an ordinary goblin soldier can't beat it, let alone face such a large number of sieges. How can Qin Feng's strength be compared to those ordinary students? Instead of retreating, he stepped forward, kicking the ground fiercely, and a deep hole exploded under his feet. His body was like a cheetah, and he rushed towards these goblin monsters. Ah! Ow! Seeing Qin Feng charging, the throwing goblin in the distance immediately activated his howling skill, imposing a debuff on him. At the same time, they also took out fist-sized round stones from the bamboo basket behind them, and projected them towards Qin Feng. Ha! Ha! The power of these throwing goblins is enormous, and the stone thrown is like a large bullet, with a fast speed, rubbing the air with a piercing crackling sound. But Qin Feng's speed was even faster. He made a slight wrong step, and at the same time twisted his body in strange arcs one after another, easily dodging the stones. In a blink of an eye, Qin Feng had already sprinted close, and the next moment, he raised his saber and slashed at a nearby goblin. The goblin quickly put the saber across its head, trying to block Qin Feng's attack. But Qin Feng's power is simply too great. Clang! Pooh! With one blow, the goblin's saber was sent flying, and then the goblin's strength remained undiminished, and the goblin was split in half from the top of its head. The green blood, like rain, swayed everywhere. Little trash. When the voice fell, Qin Feng's figure had disappeared in place again, appearing on top of another goblin warrior. Next moment, the saber in Qin Feng's hand suddenly burst into dazzling brilliance. The passages of the entire underground city are illuminated extremely brightly. Holy light slash! Qin Feng's roar echoed in the dungeon. Puff Kai! The battle axe of the goblin warrior in front of him was split in two, and the other end of the axe was sent flying. Then it embedded deeply into the surrounding walls, smashing out dense cracks like spider webs in the walls. Then, the saber pierced the goblin's little head. Holy light erupts. It directly burned the whole goblin's body into a layer of ashes. Blown by the wind gently, it dissipated and disappeared. Ah! Ah! An angry roar rang out. In an instant, Qin Feng beheaded two companions. These goblins not only did not have any look of fear. Instead, there was a red light in his eyes, and he rushed towards Qin Feng with an even more violent speed. It looked like he wanted to tear Qin Feng in half. Good job. Give me death. Qin Feng flashed one stone after another at the same time, constantly slashing the sword. Poochie, poochie, voices came and went. This is the sound of swords cutting into flesh and blood. Every time Qin Feng cuts, a goblin will fall along with it. The goblins had either had their heads chopped off, or they had been split in half. The whole picture is extremely bloody and brutal. It doesn't look like a goblin camp anymore. Instead, it looks like a goblin slaughterhouse. Slap, slap. The bodies of these goblin warriors broke in two and fell to the ground. The blood that flowed out dyed the entire ground green. There was also a stench in the air, which was very disgusting. Weak. It's really too weak. I don't even have the qualifications to use angelic weapons. Qin Feng shook his head, taking out the gap of the attack. Check out your property values. Qin Feng. Level 15. Occupation: Angel Summoner. Strength 142. Constitution 139. Agility 142. Spirit 157. Summoned creature: Holy Angel Xiaoyan, 2nd rank Archangel. Skills: slightly. Qin Feng's strength attribute crushed these goblins by nearly 40 points. It doesn't seem like much, but it's already about a third ahead. If you look at it this way, it's very abnormal. Moreover, Qin Feng's agility attribute crushed these goblins by a factor of 2. That's why Qin Feng dared to charge directly into the siege of goblins. Agility is high. It's capricious. Even if the goblin's attack hits the face, Qin Feng was also able to dodge completely. The attacks of these goblins are as fast as turtles, and their movements are like slow-moving movies. Boring. Qin Feng shook his head, looked at the somewhat sparse group of goblins who had been killed by him, raised his saber, and continued to attack like lightning. Brush. Qin Feng's figure flashed, and suddenly rushed in front of a throwing goblin. Puff Kai. Again, he slashed with all his strength. After these throwing goblins were approached, they had no strength to resist, and were cut in half by Qin Feng. Subsequently, Qin Feng repeated his old trick. It took less than 10 seconds. Then he slaughtered all the goblins in the small tribe in front of him. What Qin Feng didn't know was, his show today, as well as his previous performances, have already caused an uproar in the outside world. Qin Feng was originally the only hidden occupation in the third high school. Coupled with the instruction of Principal Li Hai, put Qin Feng's live broadcast on the most prominent position on the big screen. So, Qin Feng naturally became the focus of attention of the entire school audience. One-on-one copy of the nightmare level. I want to see what this Qin Feng is capable of. I heard that the monsters in the nightmare difficulty dungeon have twice the attributes of the monsters in the hard difficulty dungeon. Qin Feng won't be instantly killed just after entering, right? Probably not. Qin Feng is a top student anyway, he doesn't have a lot of skills, so he wouldn't do such a stupid thing. That's not necessarily true. After all, it's the first time in decades that a dungeon with nightmare difficulty has been released. What if he overestimated his own strength? In the auditorium, many students from the first and second grades started discussions one after another. But in these words, most are not too optimistic about Qin Feng. After all, Qin Feng is a hidden profession that has never been seen before, angel summoner. Moreover, no one has ever seen the contracted creatures of this profession. Therefore, it is reasonable to have doubts about Qin Feng. I'm also a little curious, what does this angel look like? Li Hai on the rostrum said excitedly with anticipation written all over his face. Listen to what he said. The other school leaders who were watching the battle, and the great magician who presided over the ceremony also secretly looked forward to it in their hearts. However, Wang Jingming shook his head and said, if you want to meet Qin Feng's angel, it may be impossible in a short time. At least you have to wait until the later stage of the dungeon. After all, Wang Ya and Wang Rui vividly described the scene of Qin Feng's battle in his ears. Therefore, Wang Jingming's combat effectiveness for Qin Feng. There is still a general concept. He also knew that in order to hone his fighting skills, Qin Feng would not let Xiao Yan take action easily under normal circumstances. So Li Hai and the others wanted to see the angels, but they might not be able to fulfill their wish in a short time. Li Hai and the others looked at Wang Jingming with some doubts. But Wang Jingming just pursed his lips and smiled, pretending to be closed, and refused to say anything. Everyone is helpless. He could only continue to cast his gaze on the light screen, staring at it stubbornly, for fear of missing the slightest detail. Look, there is a picture. Accompanied by a burst of noise, Qin Feng's live broadcast screen finally lit up on the large screen covering the sky, and a tall figure slowly emerged. The moment the screen appears, almost everyone present forgot their gazes and stared closely at Qin Feng, who was observing the environment. Even the great magician sent by the province to preside over the secret realm. They all forgot their sights. He was also a little curious, the nightmare dungeon specially prepared for that person, why would Qin Feng dare to solo with a summoner class? What unknown cards does he have? This is Qin Feng, he looks too handsome. Yeah, if I have this good looks, even if I change jobs and become a life profession, I won't have to worry about my way out. Then I can only say, protect your waist, boy. Qin Feng is the only hidden occupation in No. 3 high school, and his name has long been resounding throughout the entire high school, and even the entire Nanjiang district. However, most of the students only hear their names and don't see them. At this time, I finally saw Qin Feng himself. How could these students not be excited? The moment they saw Qin Feng, many schoolgirls even blushed and spoke boldly. Qin Feng is so handsome, and he has a hidden job. If only Qin Feng could be my boyfriend. Yes, if I have a boyfriend like Qin Feng, I can wake up from my dreams with a smile on my face. Senior Qin Feng, I love you, Senior Qin Feng, YYDS. Hearing the speeches of these schoolgirls, many male students' expressions became jealous, with a sour taste all over their faces. There's movement. There's movement. Look, what's that? At this time, an exclamation suddenly resounded through the audience. Little goblin has appeared. Goblins are so ugly and scary. These goblins are so hateful. There are so many of them, and they still use stones to attack them. Senior Qin Feng is in trouble now. Seeing a monster appear on the screen. The topic in the audience was finally brought back to the college entrance examination from Qin Feng's appearance. Qin Feng's speed is so fast, and his reaction ability is so fast. One wrong step under the foot, and the goblin's stone was dodged. And in such a dark environment, and the stone is so black, this fighting consciousness is really utterly lost. If it were me, I'm afraid I would be crushed to death by this stone. It's terrible. Senior Qin Feng's fighting consciousness has become instinct, so he dodged the attack so easily. I really don't know how he did it. When everyone saw Qin Feng dodging the sneak attack so easily, their mouths were all opened wide, and their faces were full of disbelief. Even Wang Jingming on the rostrum nodded and praised. What a high combat awareness. It seems that Qin Feng has worked hard in the wild these days. He has changed his job to hide his profession, and he can train so hard. This kid will become a great weapon. Although Wang Jingming is a businessman, his ability to control a group as large as Wang's is a matter of strength in itself. If there is no strength to crush everyone, then it is impossible to convince those subordinates. Therefore, when these school leaders heard Wang Jingming's praise, a layer of unconcealable smiles appeared on their faces. Praise Qin Feng, their faces are also full of glory. There's a new news. There are a lot of goblins. It's indeed a dungeon with nightmare difficulty. Now Qin Feng is in trouble. At this time, a teacher on the stage exclaimed. Immediately, everyone stopped talking and laughing, and looked nervously at the screen. I saw that more than a dozen goblin warriors attacked Qin Feng at the same time, and there were more than 5 throwing goblins behind them, throwing stones at Qin Feng with all their strength. Qin Feng was in danger immediately. When Qin Feng made a wrong step, a saber appeared in his hand, and rushed towards a nearby goblin. Everyone in the audience became restless again. What is Qin Feng doing? Isn't he an angel summoner? Why is he equipped with a sword? Shouldn't he be summoning an angel at this moment? Yeah, isn't this Qin Feng crazy? A squishy summoner still wants to fight goblins. Isn't this courting death? Shouldn't the summoner add points to the spirit attribute? Even if he is equipped with a sword, how much power can he have? 20 points are too much. How can he fight a goblin with over 100 attributes? In the auditorium, a boy was about to shoot. But the next scene directly made him lose his vocal cords, and he was instantly speechless. See, Qin Feng stomped heavily, his whole body flew into the air, and then he slashed down fiercely with the long knife in his hand. Kacha! The axe in the goblin's hand was directly sent flying. Then the power of the long knife did not weaken in the slightest, and it cut the goblin's thin body in half. Blood splashed around like raindrops. The 2 parts of the goblin's body also fell to the ground with a click, struggled a few times, and completely stopped moving. The elite monster in the nightmare level dungeon. Instantly killed by Qin Feng. His already tall body stood quietly in the field, full of a sense of oppression with great power. The corpse lying around him and the blood on the blade gave him a domineering and cold temperament. A lot of temperament mixed with Qin Feng's body. Let him look full of a different kind of charm. Everyone in the auditorium couldn't help being stunned. I'm not dreaming, am I? Are you kidding me? 1 knife second. Did you tell me, this is a summoner? This is a summoner. Fart. This is a god of war. I'll kill you. If this is a summoner, I'll wash my hair upside down in a spiral. Quote. Everyone was completely fooled by Qin Feng. A summoner's weapon is a knife, which is outrageous enough. But this summoner can still hold a knife, and directly kill the monsters that are many levels higher than him. This is outrageous. Open the door for outrageous. Absurdly home. Even the power on the rostrum is numb. He knew that Qin Feng was strong, but he didn't expect it to be so strong. It was this kind of strong method. He thought Qin Feng would directly summon the angel to resolve the battle. But it was completely beyond his expectation. Could it be that Qin Feng added points to the full strength attribute, and then inherited a part of the summoned creature's strength attribute? That's the only way to make sense, right? A show routine. Summoners play as fighters. Lehigh couldn't help guessing, but was soon slapped in the face. Because of Qin Feng in the picture, his figure flashed and disappeared in place. After images appeared on the screen. When everyone reacts, Qin Feng has appeared in front of another goblin. Cut down with one knife and kill in seconds again. How can Qin Feng's speed be so fast? This is unscientific. How the hell did he do it? How can it be possible for a person to be incredibly powerful and at the same time be extremely fast? This is not scientific at all. I am definitely dreaming. Seeing the afterimage on the screen, everyone's eyes were about to pop out. Ah, this Qin Feng's speed attribute is not weaker than the strength attribute at all. This is too perverted. Up to now, almost no one thinks that Qin Feng is a summoner profession anymore. Instead, he is regarded as a hidden fighter class with comprehensive strength and agility. Next, it's almost time for Qin Feng's solo show. He made a wrong step and chopped off the heads of 2 goblins. With a flash of the saber here, another goblin's body was broken in 2. One knife a little goblin. The scene was extremely bloody, but full of a strong attraction. It makes people want to watch it. Senior Qin Feng, this is too violent and bloody. But I really like it. So handsome. One knife, one child, Qin Feng newbie. Senior Qin Feng like this, I just fell in love. I declare that I will be a fan of Senior Qin Feng from now on. Senior Qin Feng, come on. Quote. The juniors in the auditorium looked at the picture with excitement on their faces. They all waved the small flags and cheering sticks in their hands, and kept cheering for Qin Feng. The whole playground is like boiling water, boiling endlessly. Chapter 51. Hiss. In just a few seconds, more than 10 goblin warriors were all beheaded. These goblins look really dumb, they just let Qin Feng slaughter them without moving. That's because Qin Feng is too strong and too fast, and the goblins can't react. If you play, I'm afraid you will be the one who looks dumb. Quote. Under the aesthetics of violence, almost everyone's eyes are on Qin Feng. That crisp fighting technique, coupled with the killing effect produced by the super high strength value, deeply attracted everyone's attention. Some people even compared Zhang Fan's video with Qin Feng's. It was suddenly discovered that there was no way to compare the 2 people in terms of attributes or combat awareness. It's just heaven and earth. Zhang Fan formed a perfect team of 5 people. The killing speed is not as fast as Qin Feng's. This is too outrageous. Indeed, the combined output of these 5 people is almost equal to that of Qin Feng. Qin Feng is too powerful. Moreover, there is no way to compare the imagery of the 2 parties. Watching Qin Feng's image is like watching a movie. It's all about appreciation. But watching Zhang Fan's image is even more apprehensive. It's not refreshing at all. Putting Zhang Fan's picture together with Qin Feng's is simply an insult to Qin Feng. Quote. Zhang Fan, who was favored by everyone before the game, has completely become the object of foil at this moment. After the discussion among the students, Zhang Fan was directly belittled as worthless. No way, it can't blame Zhang Fan for being too weak. If you want to blame it, you can blame Qin Feng for being too strong. The picture is like a sci-fi blockbuster from a previous life. And Zhang Fan's is an old black and white movie. No matter who came, after watching the sci-fi blockbuster, let him watch a black and white movie, it will be boring, and he can't watch it at all. At this moment, everyone in the auditorium was immersed in Qin Feng's battle. There are even many students who took out their mobile phones to record videos. After these videos are edited and posted on the short video platform, they will definitely receive a lot of likes. Moreover, these videos can also be stored in the mobile phone and watched continuously, which can be used as teaching materials for learning combat skills. Hey, I don't know if you have noticed, but Senior Qin Feng doesn't seem to have used any skills until now. Tell me, does Senior Qin Feng have no combat skills like warriors at all? After all, his profession is still a summoner. Suddenly, a sentence came out from nowhere, which attracted the attention of many teachers and students, and sparked a discussion. Yeah, Qin Feng seems to be using attributes to crush the opponent, never using skills. The damage of skills is much stronger than that of normal attacks. If Qin Feng didn't have skills, I'm afraid he wouldn't be able to go very far in this dungeon. After all, Ping chop is too much of a waste of energy, how long can he last with one ping chop? Quote. It seems that for summoning professions, it's better to follow the summoning style honestly. It's too risky to take this kind of coquettish routine. Without skills, this kind of gameplay can't go too far. When the words are not finished. On screen, the long knife in Qin Feng's hand suddenly shot out a dazzling holy light, almost blinding the eyes of everyone in the auditorium. Next moment, the holy light long saber slashed at a nearby throwing goblin. Puff Kai. The long knife cut the goblin in half, but strangely, no blood flowed from the goblin's body. Afterwards, the corpse was burned to ashes by the holy light like a piece of lit paper, leaving only a field of black ash, which proved the traces that the goblin had lived. The audience were all dumbfounded, their mouths opened wide, they looked at the ashes on the ground dully, not knowing what to say. Boom. At this time, a pillow suddenly hit the head of the boy who had just mocked Qin Feng. Didn't you say that Senior Qin Feng can't go far? Didn't you say that he has no skills? Now open your dog eyes and take a good look. What just now is not skills? That's right, a thing with eyes but no pearls suspects Qin Feng, you must be blind. Quote. The little fans of Qin Feng felt a little suffocated just now, but now they let out all the resentment in their hearts. The boy who taunted Qin Feng was scolded bloody, and he dared to say a word. But having said that, why does Senior Qin Feng have a warrior-like slashing skill, and in terms of attributes, it is still an extremely rare light attribute? Is he a serious summoner? Was there a bug when he changed jobs? Qin Feng was originally a warrior class. After scolding the boy, a person suddenly said, which immediately aroused everyone's discussion. Yeah, did Qin Feng have a bug when he changed jobs? Otherwise, there's no reason for a summoner to know the skills of warriors. It makes sense, and there are no such creatures as angels in this world. In most cases, the professional name is mistaken. I get it. Qin Feng's job is warrior of the holy light. Quote. All of a sudden, there were various speculations about Qin Feng's occupation. Anyway, no one believed he was a summoner anymore. But their suspicions were not without reason. After all, the fact that a summoner can stab someone with a knife and still use warrior skills is outrageous. Even Li Hai was a little suspicious, turning to look at Wang Jingming. Hoped to get an answer from him. But Wang Jingming was also in a dazed state, not understanding why Qin Feng had warrior skills. But what he was absolutely sure of was that Qin Feng was indeed a summoner. And his summoned creature is not only a beautiful woman, but also has a very nice name, Angel Yan. This is what the two daughters saw with their own eyes, and they are absolutely unmistakable. So he said, Qin Feng is definitely a summoner, you can't be wrong. As for the skills, it should be awakened after contracting an angel. After all, we know very little about creatures like angels. Maybe this angel is a creature of the warrior class. Hearing Wang Jingming's words, everyone in Li Hai nodded. Is it a summoned creature of a warrior class? Then it makes sense for the host to inherit the skills of a fighter. However, the nightmare level dungeon is not so simple. If Qin Feng can pass this level with only one holy light slash skill, it may not be so easy. At this time, the archmage who presided over the ceremony suddenly spoke. As if to verify his words. In the darkness above the screen, there were bursts of ear-piercing howls. Immediately afterwards, a group of green-skinned monsters holding sharp axes and big sticks rushed towards Qin Feng like a tide. In a few seconds, there were no less than 50 gathered. As expected of a dungeon of nightmare difficulty, whether it is the level or number of monsters, and the interval between the arrival of each round of monsters, it is much shorter than the hard difficulty. That's right, students on difficult difficulty, after killing the first wave, there is at least 2 minutes of rest time to recover their strength. But on nightmare difficulty, the rest time is probably less than 10 seconds. As expected of a nightmare difficulty, the amount alone is too terrifying. There are monsters in all directions, which is too much a test of combat awareness and positioning. Quote. Everyone's eyes were fixed on the screen, looking forward to how Qin Feng will face the group of more than 50 monsters. Until now, no one believed that Qin Feng would fall into the hands of these little monsters. They were all looking forward to what kind of tricks Qin Feng could play. Everyone is extremely excited and looking forward to it. On the screen, Qin Feng's picture was still being broadcast live. He had one hand behind his back, and the other hand was holding a bronze machete, with blood dripping from the blade. The breeze blew gently, gently lifting the hair on his forehead, revealing a pair of extremely indifferent eyes. After these green-skinned monsters surrounded him from all directions, he was nothing. Next moment, Qin Feng moved. Facing such a large number of monsters, he chose to attack first. As always, with a big stride, he appeared in front of a goblin, and with a slash of a knife, a big head fell off. Puff Kai. The next moment, he appeared in front of the other goblin again, with blood splattered everywhere. Before they could react, Qin Feng had already beheaded 2 people in a row. His power was extremely ferocious, like a god descending. Moreover, Qin Feng's holy light slash can also extend the attack range of the machete, and the goblins are very densely positioned. Often a holy light slash can take away 2 or 3 heads. But at this moment, Qin Feng beheaded a monster in front of him, and when he had no time to turn around, there was a howling sound from behind. Immediately afterwards, Qin Feng felt a sharp edge from behind, piercing his neck and causing slight pain. He knew that there was a sneak attack behind him. But he had no time to turn around, no time to dodge. The situation is extremely dangerous. But Qin Feng didn't panic at all, and chanted a spell that didn't belong to human language. Next moment, a ball of holy light the size of a watermelon, burning with white flames, hit the attacker's head directly. Boom! The sphere of holy light flew directly at the attacker, including the man and the weapon, and at the same time burned his body with a raging flame of holy light. Slap! The blown body directly smashed into the dense group of goblins. Then, the holy light flame seems to have an infectious effect. The bodies of those goblins that were hit were also set on fire. Ow! For a moment, at least a dozen goblins in the field were ignited with sacred flames, and they couldn't help but howl in pain. The scene was very miserable. Brush! Qin Feng seized the opportunity and rushed into the group of goblins with a big stride. He swung his saber swiftly, blood flying everywhere. Strange to say, these holy flames are like poison to the goblins, and like a great tonic to Qin Feng. After Qin Feng came into contact with the holy flame, his speed and strength increased a lot. With the help of God, he could quickly cut down all these goblins. In less than half a minute, these 50 goblins, like wheat, were all harvested by the farmer Qin Feng. Brush! Accompanied by the last goblin being beheaded. A door of light also appeared in the dark space. The top of the entire dark space also suddenly lit up with a dazzling white light, illuminating the entire space. This also means that Qin Feng has cleared this level. At the same time, there was a click. A bronze treasure chest fell in front of Qin Feng. It is the level reward for clearing the first level of the Nightmare Dungeon. Qin Feng looked at the treasure chest and showed a smile. In this scene, I don't know how many girls in front of the screen have been fascinated. This is too handsome. Qin Feng, so handsome, I really want to have such a boyfriend. If I have a boyfriend like this, even if I want to die, I'm willing. Quote. The point of view of boys is that it is completely different from that of girls. Did you see that what Qin Feng used just now seems to be a mage's fireball skill? A boy shouted. That's right, I saw it too. Isn't Qin Feng a fighter? How can he use the skills of a mage? Quote. Yeah, Qin Feng is not a fighter. No, Qin Feng is not a fighter, Qin Feng is a summoner. A tall boy shouted. Immediately everyone reacted. Yes, said Qin Feng is a warrior. It has always been their guesswork. But why does a summoner have both warrior skills and mage skills? Is this scientific? Science. If anyone mentions the word science to me again, I'll beat him up. In front of Qin Feng, there is no science at all. First, I changed my job to a hidden job that never appeared before, and then I used my warrior skills and magic master skills successively. Are you talking about science? I think we should talk about theology. That's right, the end of science is theology. Qin Feng's career already falls into the category of theology. Even Wang Jingming on the rostrum was not calm at all. Bang! Stand up directly from the seat. This Qin Feng. Wang Jingming scratched his head and thought for a long time, but couldn't think of an exact adjective. In the end, he just sighed faintly. I is not as far away as Qin Feng. Li Hai and the others were dumbfounded when they heard Wang Jingming's comment. You know, Wang Jingming is also a graduate of Shengjing University, and the job change is also a very rare hidden job. In the entire Tianfu city, the strength is ranked at the top. It's such a boss who actually said that he is not as good as a student who just took the college entrance examination, or just changed jobs for half a month. If this gets out, I'm afraid it will shock many people's jaws again. It's moving. Qin Feng has entered the next floor. At this moment, an exclamation from the audience brought back the thoughts of everyone who was in a daze. It's so fast, the rest time for Qin Feng is no more than 10 seconds. Isn't he tired? It's really too much. Qin Feng killed nearly 100 goblins without even a drop of sweat on his face. This shows that his physical attributes are also too high. Judging from the power of his magic ball, the spiritual attribute should not be low. Doesn't this mean that while Qin Feng's four-dimensional attributes are ridiculously high, they are also very balanced? Quote. There was another exclamation sound. To know, physique attributes represent a person's physical strength and endurance. The spiritual attribute represents the number and power of a person's spells. It takes a certain amount of stamina to cause physical damage, and using too many magic skills will make people feel mentally exhausted. In less than a few minutes, he kept slashing the sword and beheaded nearly 100 goblins. This was a very exhausting task. If it were a normal student, I'm afraid he would have collapsed from exhaustion. But Qin Feng, there was no sweat on his face, and it only took a few breaths to get to the next floor after resting. No wonder everyone had such a big reaction. After entering the light gate, after experiencing a feeling of weightlessness, Qin Feng has already reached the next level. It is very similar to the scene on the first floor. The same darkness, the same cold and gloomy. But it's different from the previous level. In this space, the color of goblins is no longer monotonous green, but red and blue. In the far distance, there is also a very large goblin, whose head almost reaches the roof. When walking, it tramples the ground and shakes it, which looks very oppressive. The moment Qin Feng entered, these goblins all looked over with red eyes, looking at the prey that suddenly broke in. Qin Feng swept his gaze. It is roughly estimated that the number of these monsters is about 100. Flame Forest Warrior Elite Monster Beast. Level 20. Strength 121. Constitution 108. Agility 105. Spirit 142. Skill Flame Burning Passive. All attacks carry the effect of flame burning, continuous loss of health. Throwing Fire Bottle Active Skill. Throw a large fire bottle to the ground. The fire bottle will fall on the ground, and will burn crazily within a diameter of 3 meters, lasting 3 seconds. Frost Goblin Elite Monster Beast. Level 20. Strength 122. Physique 118. Agility 98. Spirit 137. Skill Ice Invasion Passive. All damage carries the frost effect, reducing the target's agility attribute by 30%. Ice Crystal Throwing Active. Throws an ice crystal block forward. 10% of the records will cause freezing effect after hitting, lasting for 1 second. Giant Goblin Elite Monster Beast. Level 21. Strength 156. Constitution 162. Agility 85. Spirit 70. Skills Berserk, Hard Skin, Assault Charge. After Qin Feng used the identification technique, the attributes of the 3 goblins are clear at a glance. Compared with the little goblins in the first level, these goblins have higher levels and more perverted attributes. Moreover, the collocation of the goblin lineup in this level is also more synergistic. There are giant goblins who act as knights in the front row. There are also frost goblins who control and apply debuffs, and flame goblins who act as mages output. The effect of such a lineup combination is definitely 1 + 1 greater than 2. If the same number of goblin warriors were to fight these 3 types of goblins, it would definitely be a complete defeat without any surprises. No matter how you look at it, the survival pressure of this level is many times higher than that of the first level. That's kind of interesting. A smile appeared on Qin Feng's face with sharp water chestnut angles, and his eyes as deep as the sea were also full of firmness that ordinary people couldn't match. Ow! The howling and howling sound became louder. The goblins didn't give the intruders much time to observe. Amidst the giant goblin's roar, all the goblins in the corridor attacked Qin Feng. Boom boom boom. Every step the giant goblin took on the ground was like the sound of a dull drum, with a mighty momentum that shocked the mind. They brandished maces that were bigger than Qin Feng's body, and rushed over while roaring. The red and blue goblins in the distance also cooperated with the giant goblins, waving the bone staffs in their hands one after another, preparing to cast ice and fire magic. There are front row anti-injury, physical output, control, and damage. Each perform their duties, and cooperate with each other in an incomparable tacit understanding. Turn this small corridor into a battlefield. Qin Feng only felt that what he was facing was not some goblins, but an army of thousands of horses. If ordinary students came in, they would probably lose the strength to resist, and would be directly trampled into powder by the goblin army. But Qin Feng, how can it be compared with those ordinary students? Facing the coming offensive, he stretched out his index finger, poked Xiao Yan who was sitting on his shoulder, and said with a smile, "Don't watch the show, enter the armed state." "Yeah, okay," Xiao Yan responded cutely. Then it turned into a flash of light and enchanted Qin Feng's sword. I felt the inexplicable extra strength in my body. Qin Feng looked at the goblin army in the distance and showed a sneer. "Next, it's my turn to perform." Ah! The giant goblin stared at the human with a sword in front of him, and let out strange roars. Immediately, those thick legs trampled on the ground violently, splashing a cloud of dust, and rushed towards Qin Feng with a gust of stench. Like a tank traveling at high speed, it crashed over. The mace in his hand, which was bigger than Qin Feng's body, smashed directly towards the top of Qin Feng's head. Competing strength, courting death. When the mace fell, Qin Feng's face was extremely calm, and he didn't even dodge. The strength of his whole body was directly transmitted to his arms. He raised the saber in his hand mercilessly. Clang! The mace directly broke away from the goblin's palm and was thrown flying. In the head-to-head struggle between the giant goblin and Qin Feng, he fell into a disadvantage. Even his body was knocked backward by the berserk force. Naturally, Qin Feng would not miss the opportunity, and jumped directly onto the goblin's body, and the blade of the saber slashed across the goblin's neck from left to right. Puff Kai! The giant goblin's head broke away from its body and flew out. Blood gushed out from the broken neck, and then the body fell to the ground with a bang, and after a few convulsions, it died completely. Giant goblins are nothing more than that. Qin Feng narrowed his eyes slightly, looking at the red and blue goblins in the distance. After losing the front row, let's see how you run. Slap, slap, whoosh. At this time, the attack of the red and blue goblins finally arrived. Like raindrops, the incendiary fire bottle fell towards Qin Feng's head, and the raging flames burning on it shocked everyone watching. When he was more than 10 meters away from Qin Feng, he could feel the scorching heat. Even with his physical attributes, he would definitely not be able to handle it. At the same time, in the air, more than 1 meter above the ground, ice-blue ice crystals shot towards Qin Feng like sharp arrows. I can't go on like this. Once I let them cover the ground with skills, I will never want to rush to their side again. Qin Feng kept thinking about strategies in his mind. Then there is only one way left, rush over. With my speed, I might not be able to find a way out in this rain of skills. Don't be afraid, as long as the strategy is successful, I can not only kill these monsters, but also greatly improve my body skills. Thinking of this, Qin Feng showed a determined look in his eyes, and after looking at the skill rain all over the sky, he no longer hesitated. Then he charged directly towards the opposite side. Slap, whoosh whoosh. At the position behind Qin Feng, Molotov cocktails kept falling down one by one. Behind him, there was a crazy explosion, and the burning flames connected into a sea of flames, rushing towards Qin Feng's back, raging and burning. But Qin Feng ignored it at all, ignoring the explosion behind him. In his eyes, only the distance. Swipe, constantly tossing and turning, Qin Feng's body made strange postures one after another in the corridor, dodging all the densely packed skills. It's like dancing on the tip of a knife. But these knife tips can't hurt him in the slightest. Click. While constantly dodging, Qin Feng felt that a mysterious shackle in his heart had been broken. His speed has become faster, and his body has become more vigorous and agile. More importantly, an indestructible self-confidence emerged in his heart. These skills will never hurt me. Just like that, Qin Feng seemed to have turned into a real wind, and within a few breaths, he floated past the skill rain and appeared in front of the red and blue goblins. Pooh, pooh, without the slightest hesitation, Qin Feng drew his knife and slashed. Blood and flesh flew all over the place. The scene was extremely bloody. These red and blue goblins are equivalent to crispy mages among humans, who were approached by an extremely violent warrior. Even if you have a great ability, you can't show it at all. It didn't take a minute before and after. Slap! The head of the last flame goblin fell to the ground, completely dead. Brush! A gorgeous light flashed. Qin Feng's level has reached level 17, and Xiao Yan has also increased to level 12, which is close to level 13. Upgraded. Qin Feng was very pleasantly surprised. The most important thing is the change in mood, which cannot be matched by any level up. State of mind, mysterious and mysterious things. There is basically no way to exercise and improve. Qin Feng was originally an orphan with a strong character. Coupled with the fact that he has experienced such a thing as time travel, his character is even more tenacious. Unexpectedly, a breakthrough has been made again now. Up to now, his heart can really be said to be as hard as a stone, indestructible. No matter what difficulties you encounter in the future, you can't let Qin Feng despair. He has the confidence to solve all the difficulties. This kind of people, even in a situation where they must die, they can still find a way out. Will not die easily. Qin Feng now has this self-confidence. Even without Xiao Yan, he changed his job to an ordinary job, and he is definitely the strongest one. This is the power of the state of mind. Ding! At this time, the system suddenly sent a notification tone. It is detected that the host's state of mind has improved, and the spiritual attribute will be rewarded with 20 points. Face the system prompt. Qin Feng was neither surprised nor pleased. He was truly not surprised by favor or humiliation. Ding! It is detected that the host's state of mind has improved again, and the spiritual attribute will be rewarded with 30 points. Now, Qin Feng's face finally showed a gleam of joy. The state of mind breakthrough rewarded 50 points of mental attributes. This is achieved by Qin Feng's own hard work. Brush! At this time, a portal of teleportation light appeared again, and the entire corridor changed from darkness to light. The second level, past the level. Slap! A silver treasure chest landed in front of Qin Feng. Qin Feng calmly picked up the treasure chest, stuffed it into the system space, and directly entered the next floor. The bottom is the last floor. Let me clear the level in one go. In the murmur, Qin Feng had disappeared in place. Wow! At this time, bursts of cheers came from the auditorium outside again. Because of Qin Feng's incomparably brave performance, at this moment, all the teachers and students were completely convinced. They no longer admire Qin Feng's perverted profession. Instead, he sincerely admires Qin Feng. Qin Feng is really good. A good man should be like this. Qin Feng is so brave. He is a good example for my generation. Qin Feng is a good man, so brave. Facing the goblin army, facing the skill rain, you dare to do this, really strong. I'm convinced. Qin Feng is invincible. Seeing Qin Feng's heroic performance, everyone was convinced. You know, this is a monster with nightmare difficulty. Each one placed in a simple copy can be regarded as the existence of boss. Their skills are also incomparably perverted. As long as they are hit by one skill, they will be picked up by the following skills, directly killing the challenger in seconds. Qin Feng's move is tantamount to risking his life again. From this point alone, it is worthy of everyone's admiration. In such a cruel world, only such a person can reach the top. Those who are submissive and look forward to the future are destined to disappear from everyone. Qin Feng's approach has been cheered and worshipped by countless people. Even many female classmates seemed to think of something, and their faces turned red, but they didn't forget to cheer for Qin Feng. In the entire playground, apart from the sound of the word, Qin Feng, there is nothing else. Have you noticed that the attributes shown by Qin Feng in this level seem to be much stronger than the previous level? At this time, Wang Jingming, who had fierce eyes, said with determination. Li Hai nodded. Indeed, judging from Qin Feng's performance in this level, his attributes have increased by at least 50 points compared with the previous level. I really don't understand how he did it. Could it be that he also has a similar violent power? Amplify skills. No. Wang Jingming looked at the screen. Look carefully, there seems to be some very complicated patterns on Qin Feng's saber. I guess Qin Feng's sudden increase in strength should be inseparable from this pattern. At this time, Li Hai also found out. He nodded and agreed. This skill is somewhat similar to that of an enchanter. Could it be that this is also Qin Feng's professional skill? But this, a skill of a life profession, has appeared in a combat profession, which is a bit too dreamy. The rest of the teachers also nodded vigorously. Qin Feng has already demonstrated the skills of a warrior and a mage. Now there is another skill similar to that of an enchanter. So, how many skills does he have that he hasn't shown? The waves behind the Yangtze River drive the waves ahead. This Qin Feng is amazing. This Qin Feng is really amazing. I'm afraid the best record in school history should be broken this year. Qin Feng is the future hope of our third high school. I think this Qin Feng is about to be overthrown by the 4 major martial arts schools. This is a good show. At this time, many teachers have already touted it. Teacher Zhou, come and sit down, don't stand still. Li Hai waved to Qin Feng's class teacher Zhou Shan with a smile on his face. Li Hai and a vice principal were sitting next to Wang Jingming, but they also gave up their seats to Zhou Shan. Such an eye-catching performance by Qin Feng. Zhou Shan also got some light from him. I'm afraid it won't be long before Zhou Shan's status can be promoted from teacher to dean. If Qin Feng's follow-up performance is more impressive, I am afraid that it is not a big problem to be promoted to the vice principal. Zhou Shan's heart was also extremely comfortable. He was deeply thankful that he made the right choice, and he didn't look down on Qin Feng because of his career. Instead, he invested 50,000 yuan in him. From now on, the 50,000 yuan is worth 1,000 gold. Look, Qin Feng has entered the next level. At this time, a teacher next to him suddenly shouted, interrupting everyone's discussion. Entered the next level again. So fast. Rest less than 10 seconds. Isn't Qin Feng tired? Li Hai frowned slightly, and the faces of many teachers also sank. They all know. The next level is also the last level of the entire exam. The difficulty is several times more difficult than the first level plus the second level. Based on the strength shown by Qin Feng, if you don't take a break and increase your status to full before entering, I'm afraid you will encounter great danger. It might be life-threatening. Too reckless. The archmage who presided over the ceremony also said something. If it was because the state did not recover well, it would be instantly killed by monsters on the 3rd floor. I'm afraid he, the archmage, is also to blame. Senior Qin Feng is mighty and domineering. Senior Qin Feng is so handsome and cool. Seniors, come on, continue to kill the 3rd level in seconds. Create the record for the fastest clearance in history. Quote. Contrary to the worries of the teachers, these juniors have almost blindly worshipped Qin Feng. Qin Feng's reckless approach will only make them feel their blood speed up, their adrenaline soaring, and they are extremely excited. They shouted while staring at the big screen. I was afraid that Qin Feng would pass the level too quickly and cause himself to miss the wonderful scene. And the reason why Qin Feng entered the next level so quickly. Naturally, he has his own ideas. He opened the system panel. It shows a check-in task refreshed in the morning. Sign-in location. Copy of the college entrance examination. Nightmare difficulty. Additional levels 1038, 3913. Reward level, 6 stars. That's right. The system has judged that the copy of the college entrance examination has additional checkpoints. And Qin Feng suspects that this additional checkpoint can only be triggered by passing the normal checkpoint within the specified time. Therefore, Qin Feng is the only one who speeds up. 3 stars have rewarded a gold artifact, 6 stars reward, Qin Feng doesn't want to miss it. And there is another reason. That is, Fengshan province also has a lot of geniuses. And the top candidates in the province, if they want to hit the famous schools, will definitely choose to play the nightmare difficulty alone. Although Qin Feng is confident that he is the strongest, he has no habit of belittling others. He can instantly kill these goblins to pass the level, and he believes that there will definitely be a genius in the province who can do it. Therefore, if you want to hit the provincial champion, you must race against time. After stepping into the light gate, experienced a moment of dizziness. Qin Feng came back to his senses and looked around. Same as the previous 2 levels. This one is equally dark. But it is no longer a corridor. Rather, it is a very spacious palace. The range of the palace is about a kilometer, which is not too large. Illuminated by torches on the walls, a magnificent staircase with hundreds of steps can be seen at the end of the palace. On the platform above the stairs, there is a large throne. A blue goblin sat on the throne. He seemed to sense Qin Feng's scent, and opened his eyes suddenly. Thorn Lala, there was a flash of lightning in both eyes. Qin Feng just stared at him, and felt a sharp pain in his eyes. Humanity, how dare you set foot in my palace? Get ready to die. A roar came from the throne. Immediately afterwards, a goblin about 1 meter tall and holding a pitch-black staff walked slowly down from the throne. Tread, tread. Every time the goblin takes a step, there will be blue lightning sparks under his feet. Looks very imposing. It's interesting, goblins can speak human language. Qin Feng narrowed his eyes slightly, staring at the blue lightning goblin with great interest. Before this, those ugly little monsters in level 1 and 2 can only roar. I didn't expect this one to evolve to such a degree. Presumably the strength must not be underestimated. Thunder Lord, Kino. Grade, Gold 2 stars. Level, 24. Strength, 253. Constitution, 241. Agility, 229. Spirit, 286. Skill, Thunder Paralysis Passive. All skills have a paralysis effect for 1 second, and the duration of paralysis can be superimposed. Body of Thunder Passive, 30% reduction in physical damage, 40% increase in Thunder attribute damage. Extremely Electric 6 Thunderbolts Active, summon 6 Thunderbolts to land in a straight line of 6 meters by 1 meter to attack the enemy. Lightning 9 Thunderbolts Active, within a diameter of 3 meters, continuously summon 9 lightning bolts to attack the enemy. Description: the strongest king of the goblin camp, leading the goblins in the entire instance. The final boss with 2 gold stars. Looking at the information displayed in the identification technique, Qin Feng frowned slightly. Thunder Lord Kano's attributes are ridiculously high. Even if Qin Feng has the blessing of armed status, the attributes of this boss are still much higher than Qin Feng. But Qin Feng is not without advantages. That is Xiao Yan's purification skill, which can avoid Kai Nuo's paralysis skill. Let's do it yourself first, try it out, and let Xiao Yan do it when it really doesn't work. Otherwise the habit of letting Xiao Yan take action will develop when encountering trouble, but it will be troublesome. Taking a deep breath, Qin Feng made up his mind and decided to try the power of this boss with his own hands. Purification. The next moment, Qin Feng whispered, and then, a holy light landed on his body, making him look extremely holy. Then, Qin Feng's gaze was fixed, he clenched the saber in his hand, and with a sudden force under his feet, he launched an attack towards Kai Nuo. Looking for death, Kai Nuo felt that he was being provoked, and directly raised the staff in his hand, pointing at Qin Feng. Rumble. In the sky above the palace, a black hole several meters wide was opened out of thin air, and countless thunders flashed in it. Next moment, 6 pitch-black thunderballs the size of watermelons jumped out of the opening, facing Qin Feng's direction, and crashed down. What a berserk attack! Kai Nuo's mental attribute was too high. Even if Qin Feng had the purification effect, he didn't dare to take it hard. With a flash of his figure, he moved sideways for a distance of 5 meters. Boom! There was a deafening sound. The lightning struck the ground, and even blasted a terrifying crater half a meter deep into the hard marble floor. The gravel was like a bullet, and it was ejected in all directions. It hit the wall, and it was deeply embedded in it. What a terrifying power! Qin Feng was secretly surprised. When entering the palace, he had already looked around. The whole palace is made of a kind of cyan marble. This marble is as hard as steel. But even with this kind of material, the broken rocks exploded by lightning can actually have a certain penetration effect. One can imagine the power of the thunder itself. With Qin Feng's small stature, hard-wired as tantamount to courting death. Rumble. Kino didn't give Qin Feng much time to think. In the blink of an eye, the next thunder attack had already arrived. No, you can't let him attack so unscrupulously, you have to find a way to interfere with him. While dodging, Qin Feng was thinking about strategies. Soon, his eyes lit up. You are not the only one with the ability to attack from a distance. I have it too. Holy Light Ball. Qin Feng chanted a spell, and a dazzling holy light shone from the sword. Next moment, a magic ball the size of a watermelon suddenly appeared above Kai Nuo's head, descending like a meteor. Kai Nuo was shocked. He never thought that this human with a saber in his hand could even summon magic balls. And seeing the energy fluctuations of the ball, it is obviously not weaker than his own thunder ball. So he had to give up singing and dodge to avoid the magic ball. But it's his ability to dodge. Qin Feng has already loomed close. Head on as to cut down with a knife. Holy light slash. Kano instinctively felt something was wrong. There was no time to chant the incantation in a hurry, so he could only place the staff horizontally in front of him to block the attack. Click. With the terrifying power and the divine brilliance, it actually cut Kai Nuo's staff in two from the middle. And Qin Feng also felt a huge force on his arm, and the saber bounced up uncontrollably, almost falling off his arm. You can't miss this opportunity. Qin Feng gritted his teeth when he saw that Kai Nuo had chanted a spell again. A determined look flashed in his eyes. Forcibly holding the saber steady, he slashed at Kai Nuo's head again. Rumble. At the same time, thunder came. Do I really dare not go all out? I bet your lightning is not as fast as my sword. Pooh. A smear of blue blood spurted out, and right after that, Kai Nuo's head landed on the ground with a bang, rolling like a football. Click. But thunder also landed at the same time. It hit Qin Feng's back, leaving a bowl-sized scar on his back, from which black blood continued to flow out. A piercing pain passed over. But Qin Feng didn't look sad or happy. Standing with hands behind their backs, like a banished immortal. Subsequently, swish, Qin Feng flicked the blood from the blade, inserted the saber back into the scabbard at his waist gorgeously, and snorted coldly. I just said, your thunder is not as fast as my knife. Then, Qin Feng chanted the divine healing skill softly. A touch of emerald green light fell on the wound. A tickling feeling came. Soon, the wound on Qin Feng's back grew fresh flesh, the old skin fell off, and new skin grew. After about half a minute, the wound was so smooth that no trace of injury could be seen anymore. Ding! Congratulations on successfully clearing the Goblin Dungeon. Your difficulty level is Nightmare level. Your clearance time is 11 minutes and 43 seconds. Your comprehensive score is 1000 points, full score. Congratulations, you are the first candidate to clear the dungeon, and next, you will be rewarded to enter the only additional level. Additional levels are more difficult, and the rewards are more generous. Do you choose to enter the additional level? Hear a series of beeps in the ear. Qin Feng couldn't help but fell into joy. The entire Function province used a unified copy of the exam questions. That is to say, at this moment, Qin Feng has become the first person to clear the dungeon. In other words, at this moment, he has become a well-deserved number one in the college entrance examination. Of course, Qin Feng also understood. The final test ranking still has to wait until the end of the college entrance examination, and the province will issue a certificate of achievement after the statistics of all the students' scores have been counted. But it's only a matter of time. No one can deny. He, Qin Feng, is the well-deserved number one person in the college entrance examination in Function Province. Provincial champion. I did it. Qin Feng waved his fist happily. Moreover, all of this was done by him desperately. Awakening the angel summoner is because his spiritual attributes are high enough. Signing Xiaoyan, although there is an element of luck, but his courage cannot be denied. Dare to travel through the windy plain alone and face the wolves alone when the level is low. And now, the college entrance examination competition. During the whole process, Qin Feng didn't let Xiaoyan make a move. It all depends on your courage and extraordinary operational awareness. Win the first person to clear the customs. The reason why Xiaoyan was not allowed to make a move. Qin Feng just wanted to prove that even without Xiaoyan and without a system, he is definitely not a waste. I am born to be a strong man. Strong man of life. Fighting strong. A strong man who dares to face difficulties. If the original Qin Feng still didn't have the sharp edge, then Qin Feng who passed the competition with his own strength has already shown his sharpness. Incomparable pride surged in Qin Feng's heart. His eyes were fixed on the teleportation array in front of him. Then next, it's the additional level. I choose, enter. Qin Feng's tone was firm as iron, without any hesitation. Then, after picking up the golden treasure box rewarded by this level, he resolutely stepped into the teleportation formation. Outside world. Many teachers and students looked at Qin Feng's screen nervously. When Kai Nuo's attributes were synchronized to the screen, everyone held their breath nervously, and the scene was silent. It took a while. Don't know who sneezed. Only then did everyone's thoughts be pulled back. This is the purpose of this boss design, really, to let the candidates pass the level. It's not to let the candidates go to death. Let's not talk about this skill, just this attribute alone. Is it too perverted? A mage boss with more than 200 points of strength. Doesn't that mean that most people can be killed with a stick? His physical attack is second to none, mainly passive paralysis skills, which last for 1 second and can be superimposed. In other words, if you are controlled by him once, you will be controlled continuously. That is no different from declaring death already. Yeah, it's troublesome if you hit a skill, and you can only wait to die. Now Qin Feng is in trouble. Many viewers were frightened after seeing Kai Nuo's attributes. Even across the screen, it also makes people feel heart palpitations. If it was me, I'm afraid I would have turned around and run away the moment I saw Kai Nuo. A classmate exclaimed. The students around couldn't help but agree. The Thunder Lord here is really too perverted. Look, Qin Feng didn't give up. He launched a charge. Qin Feng is so brave. Senior Qin Feng, come on. Seeing Qin Feng's actions, everyone's hearts rose to their throats. Gudong, even Li Hai on the rostrum couldn't help swallowing. Look carefully. It was also found that there was a thin layer of cold sweat on his face. Qin Feng, you must be careful. Under the various emotions of teachers and students, Qin Feng has launched an attack. This Kai Nuo is really annoying. Although Qin Feng's speed is fast, Kai Nuo's skills have almost no cooldown. Qin Feng can't get close. It's very tricky. In this case, Qin Feng can only dodge passively. If he makes a mistake, what can we do? A teacher has not finished feeling. Qin Feng in the picture has already figured out a countermeasure. Rumble. The sudden landing of the holy light ball drew Kai Nuo's attention. Then, getting close, he cut the staff into two with a single blow. With one strike, he instantly kills the Thunder Lord Kai Nuo. A series of operations are just between lightning and flint. Before everyone recovered from the shock, Qin Feng had already figured out a countermeasure and completed the instant kill. This, Kai Nuo just died like this. Senseless. Everyone was dumbfounded. The entire auditorium fell into a deathly silence. No one thought. The final boss of the Nightmare Dungeon was killed in a flash. Senior Qin Feng just cleared the Nightmare Dungeon with a single brush. Aren't the 4 major martial arts schools stable? A sound of exclamation broke the quiet atmosphere of the audience. As the sound fell, the scene became lively like a volcanic eruption. Is this the strength of Senior Qin Feng? It's too strong. Single swipe to clear the Nightmare Dungeon. Qin Feng is awesome. Quote. Both the auditorium and the rostrum were in a state of ebullition. All the teachers and students couldn't suppress the excitement in their hearts and shouted heartily. At this moment, Qin Feng not only represented himself, but also represented the entire third high school. When Qin Feng clears the level, they also have glory on their faces. Hey, why didn't this dungeon prompt to end, but a brand new transmission channel appeared? While cheering, an untimely question sounded. After being reminded by this question, everyone turned their eyes to Qin Feng's picture again. Indeed, isn't there only 3 levels in the copy of the college entrance examination? Why is there a teleportation array? Could it be that there is a bug in the copy of the college entrance examination? I don't know, who can tell me what's going on? Quote. All the classmates were dumbfounded. Even Li Hai and Wang Jingming didn't know what happened. They looked at the archmage who presided over the secret realm. The archmage shook his head and said with emotion, "This is the only hidden benefit level in the entire college entrance examination competition. The appearance of this level means that Qin Feng is the first person to clear the copy of Nightmare difficulty. This level is both a challenge and a reward. It is specially prepared for the provincial champion. I didn't expect that the provincial champion would appear in a small Nanjing district. Perhaps the chief didn't expect that this reward was cut off by an unknown little guy. There was a trace of emotion in the voice of the archmage. But these have been ignored by Li Hai and Zhou Shan. They didn't hear what the archmage said at all. My mind is filled with the words, provincial number 1 scholar. Oh my god, Qin Feng really did it. He won the provincial champion. Li Hai was extremely emotional. That's the champion of the entire Fengshan province. It is also the only champion in Tianfu City in the past 20 years. At this moment, Li Hai only felt extremely honored. At the same time, Shengjing City number 1 high school, in the dungeon of the secret realm. Slap. Thunder Lord Kano's head fell to the ground, and Gulu Gulu rolled a long way on the ground. There was still a strong look of horror in his eyes. As if I couldn't believe it, I just died like this. Rubbish. In front of the corpse was a boy with fiery red hair. The boy is tall and strong, and looks very handsome. He is carefully wiping the blood on a giant sword. The next step is the only hidden secret level, and the rewards in it, even I am a little bit excited. Fortunately, my father has prepared a bottle of A-level recovery potion for me. With this bottle of potion, I can restore my state to full capacity in an instant. I can use it to face the boss of the additional level. Thinking of this, Chu Tianfeng took out a bottle of blood-colored potion from his backpack, uncorked the bottle without hesitation, raised his head and poured all the potion down his throat. Surprisingly, the moment the medicine enters the throat, the dark scars on Chu Tianfeng's body that were hit by the thunderbolt recovered in an instant, as if he had never been injured before. His mental and physical strength, which had been a little sluggish, had all recovered. Come on, I'm ready to hide the level. Chu Tianfeng was full of confidence. But the notification sound of the dungeon immediately made him dumbfounded. Ding! Congratulations on successfully clearing the Goblin Dungeon. Your difficulty level is Nightmare level. Your customs clearance time is 12 minutes and 43 seconds. Your comprehensive score is 1000 points, full score. Please use the return scroll to leave the copy within 1 minute. Quote. Chu Tianfeng was dumbfounded. What? Leave the instance within a minute? There is actually a character who clears the level faster than me. How is this possible? My equipment, including weapons, are perfectly suitable for my profession, and I have taken a lot of strengthening potions before the big exam. That's it, I still haven't been able to get the first place in the competition. Then the tens of millions of recovery potions I just took are useless. Thinking of this, Chu Tianfeng's eyes were a little red. There was also a hideous look on his face. Don't let me know who won the first place in the big competition, otherwise, I will make you spit out twice as much what should belong to me. The second floor of the secret dungeon. Boom. With a loud noise, in the dark corridor, the last flame goblin was also blown to pieces, with flesh and blood splashing everywhere. A lot of blood was even splashed on Zhang Fan's face, but he didn't have the strength to dodge at all. His body was already covered with scorched scars. There was a hideous scar on his face burned by the fire, and his original appearance could not be seen. The same is true for the teammates behind him, with more or less scars on their bodies, blood gushing out, but they don't have the strength to wipe and bandage them. They all slumped on the ground panting. Captain, isn't our result already very good? A team member asked. Yeah, Zhang Fan nodded again and again. After we won the second floor desperately, the points have skyrocketed a lot. I estimate that even if we score evenly, we will have at least 500 points or more. That's 500 points, enough to apply for the 4 major martial arts schools. And the probability of admission will exceed 60%. After listening to Zhang Fan's words, the 4 players behind them all had smiles on their faces. It's all thanks to the captain. If the captain's physical attributes weren't high enough, we wouldn't be able to output with such peace of mind. Said one person. Yes, this is all thanks to the captain. We just lay flat and contributed very little. According to the distribution of credit, the captain's score should exceed 600, right? This score can already compete for the top prize in Tianfu City. Exactly. I think this time the champion of the city, the captain, has already stabilized. All 4 players said in succession. Zhang Fan was also very comfortable being complimented by several people. 600 points, in previous years, is indeed enough to compete for the top prize in the city. Even if there are two hidden professions, Wangdong and Wangya, in number. One middle school this year, so what? The Zhang family's family background is not much worse than theirs, and they have obtained a lot of resources. Moreover, the nightmare difficulty I chose has bonus points, so I might not be able to compete for the champion of the market from the two of them. As for Qin Feng, Zhang Fan didn't pay attention to it at all. A profession that doesn't even have summons can pose any threat. After I go out, even the headmaster will personally welcome me. After all, he is the #1 scholar in the city. There haven't been many in the history of number 3 middle school. And those junior girls watching the battle must also admire me very much. After I go out, don't those junior girls let me choose. Thinking of this, Zhang Fan grinned uncontrollably. He said impatiently, "Let's quit the dungeon. We don't have the strength to continue exploring in the next level, so don't go overboard and die." Several team members nodded and agreed. Subsequently, the 5 people crushed the teleportation scroll at the same time and returned to the playground. "Congratulate me." Zhang Fan closed his eyes, opened his arms, embraced the spring breeze heartily, and was ready to enjoy the congratulations and cheers of the crowd. But the cheers do exist. It's just why the name is not him, but Qin Feng. Just when Zhang Fan wanted to open his eyes and figure out the situation, suddenly, there was a sound of cursing. "Get out! Where are the 5 ugly monsters? What are you doing standing here? It's blocking me from admiring Qin Feng's heroic figure. Yes, either get out, or find a place to sit down quickly, don't get in the way here. Hurry up, where did the fool come from? Hurry up, hurry up." Seeing himself seems to have aroused public anger. Zhang Fan and the others quickly found a place to sit down. At the same time looking at the huge screen in the sky. Looking at it this way, I was dumbfounded for a moment. On the screen, there was no live broadcast of Zhang Fan. Or where are other people's live broadcasts? There is only one figure on the entire screen. This figure was tall, handsome, with a straight nose, and a pair of deep eyes, full of special attraction. Can't help but want to watch. Who is this figure, if not Qin Feng? Look further down. Qin Feng held a bloody saber in his hand, and a small blue head was rolling under his feet. Zhang Fan was dumbfounded. What monster's head is it? Why haven't I seen it before? After listening to Zhang Fan's words, everyone around sneered. I don't know. Where did the soil turtle come from? Senior Qin Feng killed the final boss of the nightmare level, Lord of Thunder Kai Nuo. In the end, it was a girl who spoke softly and answered Zhang Fan's question. Nightmare level, the last level, Lord Thunder. These words deeply stimulated Zhang Fan's fragile heart. How is this possible? He suddenly exclaimed. I was wearing a full set of bronze equipment, and I formed a team of 5 people, and passed the second level with all my might. But Qin Feng is only one person. Am I dreaming? Zhang Fan couldn't believe it. His bronze suit is equally valuable. The passive effect of the suit increases strength by 20% and constitution by 30%. It fits almost perfectly with the knight profession. Let his combat power be fully doubled in half. And what about Qin Feng? The whole body looks like 3 or 4 bronze outfits. Many places are not covered by armor. Just wearing tight combat uniforms. This is the case. Qin Feng actually dared to brush the nightmare dungeon by himself. And it was much faster than his team of 5. He just cleared the second level. As a result, Qin Feng had cleared the entire instance. Zhang Fan rubbed his eyes vigorously and pinched his thigh. That's why I believe what I see is true. Not only that, the great mage on the rostrum just now has spread the news that Qin Feng is the first person to clear the dungeon. In other words, he has successfully won the provincial champion. At this time, in the distance, a boy said loudly. The voice came from afar. His jaw dropped again in shock. Qin Feng, provincial #1 scholar. Senior Qin Feng won the provincial champion. Great, all 3 of our middle schools will become famous. It's great to be in the same school as Qin Feng. I feel so honored. Not bad. Who said that ordinary high schools can't produce champions? Didn't Senior Qin Feng do it? Senior Qin Feng was born out of nowhere, sweeping all walks of life in Fengshan Province. Tianzhao is invincible. YYDS. All the students began to cheer excitedly. This is the first provincial champion since the establishment of number 3 middle school. It's a miracle. Moreover, those in key high schools have never looked down on ordinary high schools like No. 3 middle school. Now, Qin Feng slapped them in the face like a wolf. These ordinary high school students are extremely comfortable and proud. Even in Zhang Fan's heart, they couldn't help but get excited. In the face of someone whose strength is slightly higher than your own, the emotion may be jealousy. But for people whose strength is far higher than his own, Zhang Fan can't afford to be jealous at all, he can only admire and worship. Of course, there is also a trace of unwillingness, and there is such a spirit of wanting to work harder and improve in my heart. That's what role models do. Qin Feng has become a role model for the entire number 3 middle school. Look, Senior Qin Feng has entered the light gate again. He chose to challenge the additional level. Good job, Senior Qin Feng. As long as you successfully kill a monster in the additional level, the college entrance examination score will break through the limit of full marks. Seniors, come on, break the record of the college entrance examination score. The students in the auditorium were all excited. While cheering, lock your eyes firmly on the screen. In the cheers of the audience, Qin Feng stepped into the portal and came to the additional level. The scene in the additional level is different from the first 3 floors. No longer a drowsy corridor. It is a sunny grassland. The environment is beautiful, the breeze is warm, like a holy place for vacation. Of course, the premise of all this is to ignore the dense goblin army at the end of the grassland and their roaring and howling. Qin Feng watched from a distance. It is estimated that the number of these goblins is not less than 1,000. And there is a wide variety. There are goblin warriors and shooters on the first floor, and giant goblins on the second floor, including red and blue goblins. Even, Qin Feng was still inside, and found no less than 3 shadows of Thunder Lords. Hiss. Qin Feng took a deep breath. If these goblins were not far away, Qin Feng has not been found yet. He wanted to crush the return scroll directly. Where is this group of goblins? This is simply a wave of goblin beasts. Which big guy came up with this question? Even if this level is used as a graduation test for college students, there is no problem, right? After taking 2 deep breaths, Qin Feng calmed down again. He is not a character who gives up easily. How to deal with these goblins? Although Xiao Yan's output is high, but the range of skills is also limited, there is a cooldown. Once these goblins cannot be completely killed in seconds. During the time when the skill cools down, Qin Feng's safety will be seriously threatened. Thousands of goblins release their skills together, and the coverage area is too large, and it is impossible to escape by relying on body skills. At this time, Qin Feng suddenly thought of something. Don't you have a check-in reward in the level? Maybe. The opportunity to clear the level by yourself lies in the sign-in rewards. 6-star rewards. Thinking about it, Qin Feng felt anticipation. He quickly checked the sign-in coordinates, and then be pleasantly surprised. Because of the check-in coordinates, it's not too far away from him. It was on a small hill not far from his left front. There is still a distance from the goblin army. As long as Qin Feng is careful, he can complete the check-in without disturbing the army. Immediately, he cautiously sneaked towards the small hill. Soon, he successfully sneaked to the top of the hill with the help of waist-high grass. Then opened the system panel and said, "System, check in." Ding, the coordinates match the mission location, the host has successfully signed in, and a skill book will be rewarded. Qin Feng was overjoyed. It's done. I have accumulated nearly half a month of sign-in tasks. Finally finished today. This is a 6-star reward. And it's a very rare skill book. Produced by the system, it should be custom-made for my emperor's body, right? With apprehensive anticipation, Qin Feng took out the skill book from the system space. At the same time using the identification technique. Billion Years of Starlight Skill Book. Limited to Angel Yan. Effect. After using it, you can learn active skills, Starlight of Billions of Years. Hundreds of millions of years of Starlight active skill, large-scale AoE damage, summoning hundreds of millions of bright holy starlight, causing high magic damage within a specified range of 50 meters by 50 meters. Cooling time, 24 hours. Good guy. As soon as I dozed off, Someone brought a pillow. As expected of you, the system. Forever a god. 50 meters by 50 meters super large range of skills. Coupled with Xiaoyan's super high spiritual attributes. After this blow, there are only a few goblins left. Without any hesitation, Qin Feng directly crushed the skill scroll. The fragments of the scroll turned into dots of stars, which gradually merged into Xiaoyan's eyebrows. Ding, your summoned creature, Angel Yan, has learned the skill, Helion Years of Starlight. Level LV1. Xiaoyan, next, let me experience the power of your new skills. Qin Feng stretched out his finger and poked the little man on the shoulder. Hee, Xiaoyan knows it. Xiaoyan smiled sweetly, flew down from Qin Feng's shoulder, and then a dazzling light burst out. A four-winged archangel with blonde hair and porcelain doll appearance suddenly appeared in front of Qin Feng. Qin Feng was already familiar with Xiaoyan's appearance, and had a certain degree of immunity. But the audience outside didn't see it. The moment Xiaoyan came out, these audiences, men and women, young and old, were all dumbfounded. Looking at the beautiful figure on the screen with a dull expression, his whole mind was attracted. Some male students even opened their mouths wide and didn't even know the saliva flowed out. On the rostrum, Li Hai felt that his breathing became extremely difficult. The blood in the whole body seems to be coagulated. Is this peerless beauty an angel? Although Wang Jingming had already revealed some information to him in private. But the moment Li Hai saw Xiaoyan, a question still couldn't help but arise in my heart. Is this angel really a creature that should exist in the world? This is too beautiful, too shocking. Li Hai has lived half his life, and he thinks he has seen many peerless beauties. But at this moment, those beauties are all so weak, they are not worthy even to lift Xiaoyan's heels. Even Wang Jingming couldn't help shaking his head with a wry smile. Xiaoya said that the angel's appearance is much taller than hers. At first I thought it was a modest statement. But now, as a father, I have to admit that Xiaoya is right. This angel really doesn't look like a mortal creature. Gudong. In the auditorium, the sound of swallowing came from somewhere. Finally the deathly silence was broken. Is this beautiful woman with wings an angel? This is too beautiful. It's over, I've fallen in love with this little angel, what should I do? Wow, Miss Angel and Senior Qin Feng are really a good match, I fell in love immediately. Quote, all the students, looking at the picture, praised from the bottom of their hearts. And in the sound of praise or surprise or praise, Xiaoyan has spread his wings. Fly towards the goblin army in the distance. Phew, the wind howled. In the blink of an eye, Xiaoyan flew directly above the goblin army. Next moment, a gentle and sacred voice came. Billions of years of starlight. Brush. In an instant, the entire sky became dark. In the dark sky, there are unusually holy light spots shining. The whole sky looks very holy when it shines. Ha. In the eyes of the goblin army, the Zhexi spot is getting bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. The speed is getting faster and faster. When they got close, these goblins discovered that these light spots turned out to be huge meteorites with a diameter of more than 3 meters. The meteorite slammed into the goblin army fiercely with its tail burning with holy brilliance. Boom, boom, ah, meteorites kept falling, and miserable howls resounded in the goblin army. But 3 seconds, these wailing sounds strangely disappeared. These goblins simply cannot withstand the terrifying damage of this skill. In a blink of an eye, it was burnt into a piece of fly ash by the divine radiance. Even those giant goblins with strong physiques couldn't hold on for more than 5 seconds, and were burned to death amidst howling. The goblin army, which was densely packed just now, was killed by more than 90% in the blink of an eye. Only then did the rest of the goblin army react and let out howls. They cast ice and fire magic one after another, blasting Xiaoyan. Even those goblin warriors gritted their teeth angrily, and threw their swords and axes at Xiaoyan. In this regard, Qin Feng did not have any worries. Xiaoyan's agility attribute is already high, and he also has the ability to fly. It is impossible for these clumsy goblins to cause any harm to Xiaoyan. As Qin Feng expected, Xiaoyan just spread his wings, and his body moved laterally for a distance of tens of meters like a free bird. Let those goblins' skills fail. At the same time, when Xiaoyan dodged the skill, a huge sword suddenly appeared from the middle. The great sword shines with divine brilliance. Immediately afterwards, a tornado of holy light was formed instantly, sweeping towards the remaining goblins. Holy light storm. Another large-scale group damage. Scrape the remaining goblin army into pieces. Then it was burnt into a black ashes by the divine radiance. So far, after Xiaoyan's 2 skills are released, there will be an additional level in the Nightmare difficulty exam. Goblin Legion, all wiped out. Outside the examination room, in the auditorium, there was deathly silence. Everyone seemed to be petrified, with their mouths wide open, like a fool, staring blankly at the picture. Second kill. Why is the additional level of Nightmare difficulty not as strong as the first few levels? The battle between the two sides didn't last more than half a minute. Was it instantly killed by this angel? To know, the level of these goblins has been raised to above level 25. And there are several gold level Thunder Lord bosses among them. Can't handle one of Xiaoyan's skills. How terrifying is this Xiaoyan's attributes? Wang Jingming was the first to react, and tremblingly picked up the tea on the table and took a sip from Li Qian's before saying, Is this an angel? This is too strong. Judging by Xiaoyan's appearance, it is clear that he did not use all his strength. I really don't know where the upper limit of this angel's strength is. When the rest of the people heard Wang Jingming's words, they also took it seriously. Nodding incessantly, for the exam question of Nightmare difficulty, Xiaoyan easily crushed it with 2 skills, so what is it if he didn't fully display his strength? I'm afraid after seeing Qin Feng's customs clearance video, the face of the teacher who gave the test questions turned green. Perhaps, Qin Feng's next class of students may be unlucky. It is conceivable that no matter what the difficulty of the copy is, the difficulty value will definitely have a qualitative improvement in the college entrance examination a year later. Now, everyone's only expectation is the reward for passing the Nightmare difficulty test. After all, this is also the first time in the history of the Great Sha College entrance examination that there are additional checkpoints. Everyone was very curious. After clearing the 3rd level, the golden treasure box has been rewarded. So what about this additional level? Wouldn't that be a direct reward for a platinum treasure chest? Thinking of the value of the platinum treasure chest, even Wang Jingming, the president of the Chamber of Commerce, was a little bit moved. Because, the value of each piece of platinum equipment is more than 30 million. And it's priceless. Everyone was looking forward to it, their eyes fixed on the screen. On the screen, the first thing to appear was a series of gorgeous rays of light, landing on Qin Feng and Xiaoyan's bodies. A reminder sound came from Qin Feng's personal panel. Ding! Congratulations on clearing the additional level of the college entrance examination competition, and rewards will be issued to you below. Congratulations to you and your summoned creatures, you have obtained 100,000 experience points, celery. Congratulations, you have obtained 50 free attribute points. Congratulations on obtaining the golden equipment, Armor of the Goblin King. Congratulations on obtaining the golden equipment, Helm of the Goblin King. Congratulations, you have obtained a golden treasure chest. A series of prompts sounded, making Qin Feng a little overwhelmed. At this time, 3 light clusters slowly appeared in front of him. It is the 2 pieces of gold equipment and a gold treasure chest that have been cleared. Qin Feng hastily stepped forward to pick up the treasure box, and at the same time checked the attributes of the equipment. Armor of the Goblin King. Grade: Gold. Strength: +4.5. Constitution: +6.5. Agility: +2.8. Spirit: +3.6. Skill: Strong Guardian passive, an additional 10 points of physical attributes. Level limit: 15. Occupation restrictions: Warrior Knight equipable. Goblin set effect: 2-piece set, increase 50 points of strength and 20 points of physical attributes. 5-piece set, increase strength value by 120 points and physical attributes by 50 points. Helm of the Goblin King. Grade: Gold. Strength: +4.8. Constitution: +4.6. Agility: +3.4. +32. Skill: Spiritual active passive, extra 10 points of spiritual attributes. Level limit: 15. Occupation restrictions: Warrior Knight equipable. As expected of gold equipment, this attribute bonus is really fierce. If Dobby really doesn't limit the grade of equipment, I might not be able to compare with those wealthy students who wear a whole set of gold equipment. Qin Feng expressed emotion. Before that, all he had was a piece of gold equipment, the holy silver gun. The rest of the gauntlets are silver. The others are all bronze parts. The boosted attributes are almost negligible. But now, after passing the additional checkpoint, he was rewarded with 2 pieces of gold equipment at once. And 2 pieces can also activate a small suit attribute, which can increase strength by 50 points and constitution by 25 points. It can be said to be very perverted. According to Qin Feng's estimate, these 2 pieces of equipment will be on the market not less than the total value of 10 million. See 2 pieces of equipment with the wear level. Qin Feng did not hesitate, and directly equipped it on his body. Then look at the personal attributes. Qin Feng. Grade: 19. Occupation: Angel Summoner. Power: 264. Physique: 258. Agility: 247. Spirit: 308. Summoned creature: Holy Angel Xiaoyan, 2nd rank Archangel. Skills: slightly. After equipping 2 pieces of gold equipment, Qin Feng's 4-dimensional attributes broke through more than 200 points. The spiritual attribute even broke through the 300-point mark. This is still Xiaoyan's unarmed state. After being armed, Qin Feng's attributes will explode even more. I'm afraid that even a 2nd-rank professional who wears equipment is no match for Qin Feng. 317 followed. Qin Feng looked at Xiaoyan, who was at the side again. There was a slight movement in my heart. Xiaoyan's attributes appeared in front of his eyes. Holy Angel Xiaoyan. Grade: Tier 2 Archangel, 100 attribute points for each upgrade. Grade: 14. Power: 464. Physique: 466. Speed: 457. Spirit: 739. Skills: slightly. Weapon: Sword of Holy Judgment, gold. Hiss. After seeing Xiaoyan's attributes, Qin Feng took a deep breath. After wearing 3 pieces of gold equipment, he was already abnormal enough. But I didn't expect that compared with Xiaoyan, it was worth the difference between heaven and earth. Xiaoyan's attribute value is twice as good as Qin Feng's. Qin Feng made a rough estimate. I probably have to wear a full set of platinum equipment. Only then can the gap between him and Xiaoyan be bridged. However, there is still a prerequisite, that is, Xiaoyan's equipment has not been advanced, and the level has not been improved. Shaking his head, Qin Feng dispelled the thoughts in his mind. Anyway, Xiaoyan belongs to my family and belongs to me. The stronger the better. In this way, I can clear the more difficult dungeons and upgrade the level faster. The desire to serve in the army to protect the family and the country can be realized earlier. Qin Feng smiled. Then he turned his gaze to the golden treasure chest on the ground. Squeak. The treasure chest opened slowly. A lavender card appeared in Qin Feng's hand. Under identification, the attributes of the card appeared in the eyes. Thunder Lord's card, gold level. Effect: Enchanting card. After the enchanting is successful, the spiritual attribute of the equipment will be increased by 20 points, and the equipment will have a 5% chance to cause paralysis for 0.5 seconds when attacking. A gold level enchantment card. This attribute is too good. Qin Feng couldn't help being overjoyed. An increase of 20 mental attributes is normal. But this attack has a 5% chance of adding a paralyzing effect. This is very perverted. This is almost equivalent to adding an unstable control skill to the equipment. Xiaoyan's skills are all pure output skills, and Qin Feng is worried that he has no skills that can provide Xiaoyan with stable control. Now with the paralyzing effect, coupled with Xiaoyan's invincible output, wouldn't it mean that gods block and kill gods, and Buddhas block and kill Buddhas? Equipment, experience, attribute points, enchanted cards. This is not a copy of the college entrance examination. This is simply a resource warehouse. This reward is too generous. After Qin Feng loaded all the items into the system space, then he took out the return scroll and tore it up. The whole person was enveloped by a white light. After a few seconds, it disappeared in place. At this time, many students have been teleported back to the playground one after another. However, the faces of these candidates were all very uniformly filled with surprise. Because many students in the audience were telling them about Qin Feng's heroic deeds vividly. Even those students who failed the exam temporarily forgot their sadness, and were taken aback by the words of these students watching the battle. It was as if he suspected that he was listening to a fairy tale. "Look, Senior Qin Feng has come out." At this moment, a loud voice resounded through the playground. Everyone quickly looked towards the center of the playground. A handsome and tall man stood there quietly, looking extremely chic. "Wow, it's really Senior Qin Feng. He's even more handsome than on the screen. I fell in love straight away. She's so handsome and strong, I'm falling. Not only have I fallen, but my mother has also fallen. So handsome, so powerful." After seeing Qin Feng, all the students are crazy. They waved their flags and shouted. Some students even read the railing directly. He ran towards Qin Feng's direction. These students held paper and pens in their hands, and it seemed that they wanted to sign their names. Oh my God! Qin Feng was frightened by the battle. He felt that the temperament of hundreds of little fans rushing towards him was no less than those of the Goblin Army. Too crazy. Go back to your original position. Teachers of all classes, maintain order. Anyone who dares to disturb Qin Feng will be punished once. Fortunately, at this moment, Li Hai's anxious cry sounded on the radio. This weakened the enthusiasm of the students a little. But there were still quite a few people who didn't listen to dissuasion at all and rushed in front of Qin Feng. Enthusiasm was completely irrepressible. Qin Feng was completely overwhelmed by the crowd. 5 minutes later, corner of the playground, Qin Feng wiped off the lipstick on his face, looked back at the crowd that was still moving towards the center, and sighed. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'd rather face an army of 100,000 monsters than he would ever face such a scene again. Qin Feng grabbed the clothes that had been torn many times by everyone, and walked towards the rostrum. Qin Feng, your popularity is no less than that of a traffic star. Seeing Qin Feng approaching, Li Hai hurried up and said with a smile. Oh, Principal Li, why are you making fun of me? After all, Li Hai is an elder, and Qin Feng was still a little shy when he heard the elder making fun of him. Ha ha ha, if you don't talk about it, don't talk about it. Li Hai first ordered all the teachers to go down to maintain order, then he looked at Qin Feng and said. Qin Feng, you have won honor for the school this time. You are the pride of our number 3 middle school. Go to the photo studio to take a picture later, and I'll hang it on the celebrity wall for you. That's not good, Principal. Qin Feng waved his hand hastily. Okay, everything is up to you. Li Hai smiled, don't force it. After finishing speaking, Li Hai pointed to the handsome middle-aged man standing beside him, and introduced. This is the president of Wang's Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Wang Jingming. This time, President Wang came to watch your competition specially. You should get to know him well. Wang Jingming invested in the orphanage. I gave myself another chance to copy the difficult secret realm. Qin Feng has long wanted to pay a visit. I didn't expect to see a real person here. Deng even bowed slightly, made a salute, and said. Hello, Uncle Wang. Qin Feng, you did well. Wang Jingming patted Qin Feng's arm very kindly. The reason why I watched your game this time is because my 2 girls are talking about you at home all day. I am also very curious about you. I saw it today, and it was as expected. He is really a young hero. How about this, you are free some other day, come to my house directly, Uncle Wang will treat you well. Qin Feng understood what Wang Jingming meant. This is to discover his potential and want to make friends with Qin Feng one step further. And Qin Feng had no reason to refuse. One is that Wang Ya's relationship is here. The second is that the Wang's Chamber of Commerce is powerful in Tianfu City, and it will definitely help the orphanage a lot. Qin Feng directly agreed. Okay, if Uncle Wang doesn't dislike it, within 3 days, I will pay a visit. Okay. Wang Jingming smiled with satisfaction, then took his leave and left. After Wang Jingming left, Li Hai said again, Qin Feng, if you have nothing to do, go back first. It is estimated that the special envoys from the 4 universities will be back soon. I will notify you when the time comes. In addition, the rewards in the city and the province will also be distributed on time after the results of the college entrance examination are released. Remember to come to the school to collect them. Aha! Qin Feng nodded and agreed. Then he turned down the dinner invitation of the school leaders, took his leave and left. There is a world of warriors. The efficiency of official affairs seems to be much faster. Only 3 days have passed since the college entrance examination. Early this morning, Function Province, the news of the release of the college entrance examination came down. Chin Feng didn't bother to check his grades, because he already knew. I must be the provincial champion. But Dean Wang seemed very excited. As soon as the news came down, he picked up his phone and checked the results. After seeing Chin Feng's ranking and score, Wang Chenghai was almost so excited that he burst into tears. But after all, he is a person who has experienced life and death on the battlefield. Soon it calmed down. Pointing to Chin Feng's score, he said with a smile. 1001 points, ha ha ha. This score is good. Don't look at it as just beating the second place by 1 point, but just this 1 point is the distance between heaven and earth. It looks like 1001 points, but it can be regarded as 10,000 points, 100,000 points, or even infinite scores. Zhaofeng, you deserve the title of champion. It's a pity that the National College Entrance Examination questions are not uniform, otherwise, you would be the #1 scholar in the country. I heard what Wang Chenghai said. Chin Feng also raised his head to look at the screen. Sure enough, I found that the score after my name was 1001 points. Can't help shaking his head. This score is a bit hateful. It will not be the teacher who gave the exam questions. See yourself passing through his carefully designed additional levels in seconds. Take a little revenge on yourself. 1001 is only 1 point ahead of second place. This insult is really strong enough. It is estimated that the second classmate named Chu Tianfeng. Energy explosion. But Chin Feng smiled, and he forgot about it. Would a tiger worry about a sheep holding a grudge against him? Obviously not. If Chu Tianfeng is overwhelmed, dare to trouble Chin Feng, then Chin Feng doesn't mind letting him know how big the gap is. Tianfu City has a champion. The news spread to every corner of Function Province within a few hours. When hearing the name Tianfu City, many young people in Function Province have reacted. It turns out that in the north of Function Province, there is another unknown small city called Tianfu City. There are even many people of the older generation. I also forgot how long I hadn't heard this name. So, the news of a provincial champion came out of Tianfu City, and the regiment was particularly explosive. Just a few hours, reporters from major newspapers in the province flocked here. The third high school in Nanjing district was completely surrounded. The college entrance examination is over. But the juniors and juniors in the first and second grades are still in class. While they are in class, then I saw a group of people with cameras rushing into the classroom. Almost stuffed the microphone into the mouth of a student at the door, and asked, "Hello, classmate, what do you think of Chin Feng, the #1 student in the college entrance examination?" The classmate cleared his mind. Eyes shone with adoration. Said with a pious face, "How should I put it? The first time I met Senior Chin Feng was during the college entrance examination competition. As soon as he appeared on the stage, he amazed my entire youth. I think I will never forget Chin Feng's heroic fighting posture in my life." After hearing this, the reporter was a little dazed. This is a little too licking. So he quickly moved the microphone to another female classmate. The female classmate straightened her hair and said with a smile, "Senior Chin Feng is really handsome. If Senior Chin Feng is willing, I can give him 3 words, I am willing. Senior Chin Feng, I love you." Obediently, the reporter was completely dumbfounded. This group of students are all fans of Chin Feng. Can't get any useful information at all. Then, he handed the microphone to the young female teacher on the podium. The female teacher blushed a little and said, "Chin Feng, tall and handsome, powerful, with smooth skin. When he came out of the dungeon that day, I squeezed in and gave him a kiss." Quote ? The reporter is stupid, get out of the library. Let me cut out all this paragraph. Then, the reporter interviewed more than a dozen students from different classes and genders one after another. I found that these students can't even describe Chin Feng with admiration, it can be said to be admiration. Worship to the point of obsession. One reporter even said something bad about Chin Feng. Was beaten by his classmates. His face was covered in blood, and he was taken directly to the hospital. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.